upholstery, carpeted stairs, and virtually anywhere else without any hair wrap on the roller. 2-in-1 Duster Crevice Tool that delivers extended cleaning reach in tight spaces, while the dusting brush provides amazing cleaning versatility. Multi-angle dusting brush with incredible adjustability for cleaning blinds, shelves, ceiling fans, and a lot more. Anti-allergen dust brush for tackling that above-floor dust and hair, and the Shark accessory bag to keep everything neatly put away. Plus, you'll receive an additional 2-pack of odor cartridges. This special limited-time offer isn't available at retail. It's only when you order directly from Shark. Ask your Shark cleaning consultant or click for huge savings on the Power Detect True Pet and Allergen package. The Shark Power Detect with Dual Clean Detect, designed to capture more dirt, capture more debris, and capture more hair. Call or go online right now.
Call 1-800-265-4356 or go to sharkclean.com to order your Shark Power Detect with Dual Clean Detect technology. Call and order now.
Now you can turn almost anything into soft.
What is up, motherfuckers and party people?
Ninja Swirl.
How the hell is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a great fucking day. Today we got the truck race from Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan.
The Shark Power Detect, presented by Shark Ninja.
I can't get over my mom. I'm sure it's nothing.
It's the, what the fuck is this shit called?
I've called her 5 times.
Solutions and Staffing 200. Okay.
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
Dude.
Hello?
Hello, this is Life Alert. Your mother had an emergency, and we dispatched.
I always thought those were memes. I always thought I thought the help. I've fallen and I can't get up. I thought that was a meme. I didn't know they actually did that in the commercials.
Thank you.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes. With one simple touch of a button, Life Alert sends help immediately. Whether it's to report a fall, a medical emergency, or an intruder, Life Alert sends first responders fast.
For a free brochure, call 800-970-8049. 800-970-8049. 800-970-8049.
Ready to have some fun?
But yeah, hope everybody's having a great day. If you don't notice, we got something new added to the stream. Well, we got a few new things added to the stream. One is just a reoccurring thing, and that's lag. We have lag added to the stream. That's fun. But we also got this new thing that'll zoom in on a specific driver. It'll show constantly where they're running and their laps led and all that. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
From the Lone Star State to Music City and everywhere in between, there's been no lack of action from these truckers. Today, they turned the page at Michigan International Speedway. Right in the backyard of Motor City, USA, sits this 2-mile D-shaped oval with lightning speeds approaching 190 miles an hour. Best pull those bells.
Haircut spotted, yes. Haircut indeed. My dad cut my hair this morning.
Keep their nerves in check and foot down to the floor. It's Craftsman Truck Series Racing from Michigan International Speedway.
Welcome to beautiful Michigan International Speedway, tucked in the Irish Hills of Brooklyn, Michigan. It's time now for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Fox. And it is a beautiful but hazy day. Light winds out there, but the temperature just perfect. It's supposed to be nice and sunny.
So green flag is at 12:26.
For this truck series and we're so happy to have you on
The stages are, it's a 125 lap race. Stage 1 is 30 laps. Stage 2 is also 30 laps. And the final stage is 65 laps. Fuel is 36 to 39 laps. So in the first 2 stages, you will not have to make a green flag pit stop. But in the final stage, if it went green, you would.
Lane Riggs has been challenging Corey Heim, looking to get his first win of the year. Maybe it happens today.
Hoping the stream can be mostly behaved today.
Corey Heim drives a perfect race, gets his first win of the season, or maybe it's somebody like Chandler Smith with 2 wins on the year already. These guys have been great, but if they're going to win today, they got to find a way to beat Carson Hocevar, a guy who finished second second at Nashville in the Cup Series race last week, or maybe Ross Chastain 2 weeks ago, winner of the Coke 600. Michael, this is going to be fun today.
Well, the star of this show might just be the racetrack itself. It is so racy in qualifying. We saw speeds near 185 miles an hour, and the drivers wide open all the way around this track, and that means drafting is going to come into play. And if you're Ross Chastain, who qualified 26, or say you're Chandler Smith, who's starting on the back row, you hope there's drafting involved, and you hope you can use the air off those other trucks to race your way forward. Talked to several of the guys, and they are as excited as Regan and I are about this event today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to watch them crank them up and get going here in Michigan.
High speed, so much entertainment. You guys just set the field perfectly. But you did mention Ross Chastain. What a couple of weeks it has been for this young man. The Coke 600, the crown jewel, goes out patiently, picks them off one at a time, guys, and he gets it done and gets the win.
This move that was amazing. The way he was able to take control of that race so late in the going. We thought William Byron was the winner. Didn't work out that way.
And Ross had to come all the way from the back. Jamie Heath, he's got to do it again today, too.
Look at that, the watermelon smash. Perhaps we'll see a watermelon smash today. Let's get his thoughts. He's with Josh Sims.
I'm sure watching that video never gets old for Ross Chastain celebrating that Coke 600 victory. You were in the truck as well that weekend, finished runner-up. So I know you like a little get back and to come here to Michigan and finish one spot better.
Yeah, Josh, it's been a great 2 races so far with this Nice equipment Chevy. Today to have all the partners on with JF Electric, DQS, and Precision on it. This is a big race for Nice as a whole. Al's here, Josh is here as well. So this is cool. That's why I wanted to run this race with them and not qualify. It didn't not starting where we wanted to, but I feel like we have a lot of grip built in the truck. So if I can find some clean air, it's going to be really tough. We'll take all day and try to get to the front.
What were you able to learn about this place yesterday with the truck? Because you hadn't been back here since 2019. When you were on the pole and had an unfortunate mishap on pit road, not to bring that up, what did you learn about it?
You know, thinking back to that, I've watched that race it back, but I got to where we crashed. I didn't even want to see the replay. It's something I wanted to block out because it's such a silly wreck on pit road that we had here. Yeah, yesterday with the 50 minutes, I mean, it wasn't ideal because we only had 1 set of tires, so I think we had 5 cycles on them by the end. So really for these Goodyear Eagles, they have a memory. And when you constantly heat them up, cool them down, back and forth, they're going to repeat themselves. So would have liked to have had a second set.
But yeah, Luke Fenhouse is on the pole for this race. That's interesting.
Everybody was in the same boat. So now we go race. This is when we really learn. And with Brandon McReynolds on the roof.
My win pick, the guy who I think is going to win, is Carson Hocevar. He's my prediction to win today.
Does have Brandon McReynolds, his cup spotter.
It'd be pretty cool to see. But I hope Ross can get the win.
Ross doesn't forget where he came from. He loves Nice Motorsports, loves any opportunity that he has to come back here and run and go for the win.
Well, I told you earlier, drafting track, right? That was one of his points. Our spotter is going to be very important today. These guys, Jamie, are going to be squeezing into holes that you can't really see that are there yet, but when they do it. So just going to be a wild race, and I'm glad Ross is here, man. He won the crown jewel in the Coke 600, but yet he still loves racing for Al Nice, and I love the truck series, and it just means a lot to me when these Cup stars come down and compete.
He mentioned tires as well, right? And there's a high likelihood we're going to go through a lot of cycles on tires today. Caution flags mean cycles on tires, so as much as I know he wanted to get more laps on sticker tires, maybe we'll help Ross out today knowing exactly what that truck's going to do as the tires get older and as they get hot and cold multiple times.
Well, another Cup driver we expect to be up there competing for the win is Carson Hocevar, and he's been the talk of the town, and he just so happens to be from Michigan, about an hour and a half away in Portage, Michigan, so he has 2 shots at getting to victory this weekend, and how much it would mean for him to do it today. Let's check in now with Caitlin Vinci.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Always great to have Carson Hocevar back in the truck series. What do you enjoy about racing?
You know, I can add multiple drivers to this thing, right? You know that, right, y'all?
I mean, ultimately, these trucks are fun to race. You slide around, you're always leaning on the right rear, and these trucks are fast too, so it makes it a lot more fun, especially with Raj winning yet last week. It just makes me more excited to get in these things, and we qualify second, so we have a lot of speed, and last time I got in these things, we won, and number one is more, it's so tough on Sundays to win, so it's a lot of fun to,
well, I'd have to,
it's a little easier than Sundays so far.
You mentioned the last time you were in a truck, you won, of course. Do you think you have a truck here today to replicate that at your home track?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully so. I mean, if you race off cheers and how many people are here, I think we'd have them all be. It's super cool, to come here, just now into my NASCAR career, right, and have a truck race at home. and just see how many people are even here just for Saturday, and how many friends I have, how much family, and everything. So
yeah, I can add multiple drivers to that.
To go home to the house, give the trophy,
So yeah, we got highlighted on there is the driver that I want to win, who is Ross Chastain, and the driver that I think is going to win, Mr. Carson Hocevar.
I love it. He wants to share that trophy if he gets it today with the whole family, including the dog, Regan.
That's a first, right? I don't know that I've ever heard that necessarily, but listen, Carson Hocevar is driving at the top of his game right now, whether it's in the Cup Series or the Truck Series. He started second today, and that's definitely somebody, Michael, that we're going to have to watch all day long. He talked about slipping and sliding in traffic, but starting second, maybe he can stay out of that traffic all day and not worry about it.
You know, we hear about the triple all the time, whether it's Kyle Busch or Kyle Larson going for it. Carson's going for the triple. He's already won at Berlin Speedway on Wednesday night, and now he's going to race today and tomorrow. Michigan home state triple. That'd be pretty cool.
And he said he's got all the fans, the cheers already. We'll see what Carson Hocevar can do today. Let's now go trackside and kick things off with opening ceremonies.
Please rise as you are able. Remove your hats, and veterans render a hand salute as the Belleville Navy Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to perform today's invocation, please welcome from St. Francis de Sales High School, Father Jeff Rose.
Almighty God, we thank you for a beautiful day here at Michigan International Speedway. We ask your blessing on, and we thank all those that make this wonderful weekend possible. We thank you for the incredible fans gathered here this afternoon as well. And we ask your blessing on the servicemen and women who keep us safe
put 2 drivers up there.
Bring them home to us soon. And we ask that you keep our drivers and team safe as they compete for us today. We ask all these things with great faith, hope, and love. Amen.
Amen.
Here to perform the Canadian anthem, please welcome Michigan International Speedway's own Lisa Bascom.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Yeah, Canada.
Here to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome
Here's the better one.
School Band.
Yeah, America.
Let's hear it for Lisa Bascom and the Airport High School Band for their performances of the Canadian anthem and the Star-Spangled Banner.
Well done by the Airport High School Band. Well, we're setting the stage for the Craftsman Truck Series here at Michigan. 250 miles of action is coming up.
Y'all can see my sweat stain on my fucking armpit.
Win one championship.
Yeah, I put 2 drivers on there. I got Carson Hocevar, who is my win pick,
3 times.
and then Kyle Busch, who Kyle Busch ain't racing. Ross Chastain,
The trophy speaks for itself.
who I hope wins.
Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner.
Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie. Plus, get $2,500 bonus cash on select models and dealer inventory.
The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor tracks your glucose in real time. And over time, it can help lower your A1C. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at freestylelibre.us.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new buffalo, layered with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket. Get yours now only at DQ.
I was a little caught off guard by this partnership. Frankie's a big star, but he really does seem to get in the middle of things. Calls.
Of course we're going to be able to take this case.
Danny!
Hey, not right now, man.
Meetings. This year has started off everything, really.
Can I squeeze in the middle here? Sorry.
But really, super stoked to have him here.
Morgan & Morgan and Eunice, America's largest injury law firm.
Applebee's All You Can Eat is back, featuring the chicken tenders you've always loved, plus double crunch shrimp and riblets, all served unlimited for just $15.99, only at Applebee's.
My blood sugar is borderline. I can worry about it, or I can do something about it. New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula works safely and naturally with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
And it's time to keep my eye on 2-time champion of the series, Ben Rhodes. Here comes Ben Rhodes in the 99.
What an effort.
What a run.
This kid's good everywhere he goes.
Well, the 2-time Truck Series champions had a tough go of it lately. 4 straight races outside the top 10. And then yesterday in practice had an issue coming off turn 2. Right there in the back of the shop, washes up the racetrack, touches the wall. They were able to repair that, but what are his thoughts moving forward for today's race? Moments ago, he talked to Josh Sims.
You're just ready for the next race in Mexico City? I'm more excited for this weekend's race, you know? Michigan's always super exciting, but I am excited for Mexico too. That'll be my birthday. A race on my birthday is something I've wanted for a while. There's only ever been one race that I've watched on my birthday. Well, one cup race. That was 2014 at Michigan.
It was just all about getting our Bomberito Ford F-150 repaired yesterday. So it's back in one piece, qualified 9th, and, you know, hopefully we got a good piece under us for the race.
Good luck, Ben.
Well, Regan, Michael, what do you think his chances are today? I know they got that hiccup out of the way, and the truck is all good and ready to go now.
Well, I think the good news for Ben is he's still in the primary truck, right? We saw that contact with the wall. It wasn't too severe to where they had to go to a backup truck. So that's the good news. The bad news is, obviously, he didn't get to learn what he wants to learn on it. But Ben Rhodes is a champion for a reason, Michael. And it's because when he's at moments of adversity, he can step up and find a way to get it done.
And what a strong qualifying session it was for his teammates, too. And that those practices yesterday were very valuable for this organization. So they will share those notes. Everybody's going to know what each other has, and that'll help Ben.
Well, right now, I told you, he's had a 4-week stretch outside the top 10, so that has him below the cut line. You see Ben Rhodes down there, 51 points back. But, guys, look who's above, at, and below. Some big names.
definitely some big names, and got to be a little worried, right? Rajah Caruth wins last week, and all of a sudden that cut line got worse. A lot of the guys below the cut line in a must-win now.
And I believe all four of those guys you see below that yellow line could win this race today. This playoff picture is going to be shuffled up quite a lot throughout the summer months.
And the best of those drivers starting today. Ty Majeski will roll off sixth, though had a good qualifying effort. Well, it's time now to go trackside again, this time to Fire Engines.
Michigan International Speedway. Give a big NASCAR welcome to River Rouge alum and named Michigan State football wide receiver Nick Marsh and the president of DQS, Michael Gorno. They're here today to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away.
Go green! Go green! The moment you all been waiting for. Drivers, start your engine!
Engines are fired. And we're ready for some racing. Once again, the stages for today's race is a 125 lap race, 200 miles. So it is, stage 1 is 30 laps, stage 2 is also 30 laps. And then the final 65 laps is the final stage. A fuel run is 36 to 39 laps. So you will not have to pit under green in the first 2 stages, but in the final stage, if it went green, you definitely would.
Short of breath. I felt like a bystander in my own life. So I talked to my cardiologist, and he prescribed Camzyos. He said it works by targeting what's causing my obstructive HCM.
Camzyos is used to treat adults with symptomatic obstructive HCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with a serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help if you have new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking Camzyos, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and
I love the
current
doggy.
pregnancy.
With Camzyos reducing my symptoms, I've gone from sitting on the sidelines to being back in the game. My name is Stephanie, and this is my Camzyos moment. Call your cardiologist today and see if a Camzyos moment may be in your future too.
Looks like we've told people Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. For the last time. Huh. Shallow. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Like NASCAR but don't know who to root for? Toyota's got you covered. This guy went from dirt tracks to cup cars. This new kid is all gas, no brakes. And him, just a 3-time Daytona winner, no big deal. That's just a taste of our team of legends. Now you're up to speed. You in?
At Ace, however you grill, we've got the perfect one for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. That sounds pretty perfect.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Fox Tuesday. How many zeros are there? Joel McHale hosts. What dispensary do you work for? The 1% Club season premiere. Then, let the games begin. It's the cold-blooded series premiere of The Snake. Will I backstab someone? I'm open to that.
The 1% Club season premiere, followed by the series premiere of The Snake, Tuesday on Fox. Let's go. Fox Wednesdays.
Oh my God.
Gordon Ramsay is going deep undercover. I've got this ration under surveillance. That is one fat rat. I've seen enough. I am going in. This ration is closed.
Wait, what?
I can't help without you wanting to change.
I have the 4.6 Google rating.
There's rat droppings everywhere. Where's that on your 4.6 Google rating? Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service.
If this race is not accurate. The name of this race is the fucking whatever 200. This race is 250 miles. No, it apparently is called the 250, but the logo's inaccurate.
But a hard-fought win and a popular win. Second career for Rajah Caruth. What do you say, Regan?
Yeah, the trucks have not raced here since 2020.
For Rajah Caruth, this is Regan in the Fox Sports booth. All right, buddy, a big win last week. A fantastic job on the track by you. How's the week been, and what are you thinking about the challenges that Michigan's going to present to you today?
Yes, thanks for spending some time, Regan. Definitely a fun week for sure. It's always nice to see everybody's spirits up at the race shop, and just got to say thanks to everybody at Inspire Motorsports and Chevrolet, but also our supporters at HedgerCars.com with Mr. H and Miss Linda and everybody at the automotive group. So this place is fun. It's fast. Not going as fast as them Cup cars used to that you drove, but definitely going to be some fun racing here in the pack with some of these good truckers. So expect to have a fun race this afternoon here on Fox.
Well, man, we're looking forward to watching it. And I'm sure it's going to be really exciting out there. Good luck today. Thanks, Raja.
And Raja starting 13th and starting way back in 31st. Mikey, let's dial up Chandler Smith, get his thoughts.
Long John Silvers. Let's see what Chandler has to say. Hey, Chandler Smith, this Michael Waltrip in the team with Fox. Do you copy me, friend?
What's up, Mikey?
Man, we are so excited, and thank you. Thank you for starting in the back so we can show people what it's like to dice up through this field using that draft and speeds up excess of 185 miles an hour. Are you ready to go for it, my friend?
Buddy, I'm ready. The Michigan crowds came out, and they're showing out. The stands are pretty full for what they got open today, and I'm excited, and hopefully we can put a good show on for the fans back at home and here in Michigan.
All right, you're my pick, buddy. Make me look good.
Dang it, Mikey, why do you have to tell me that?
No pressure.
Go get them.
All right, let's take a look at the Craftsman starting grid. And starting on pole for the first time in his young career, in just his 12th career start, it's Luke Fenhouse. Starting outside, Carson Hocevar, the Sunday driver, coming over here to moonlight a little bit.
Well, row 2, we've got Matt Crafton, a former series champion. Best start in 3 years for Matt Crafton. He never qualifies this well. We'll look out for him today. And Jake Garcia starting beside him.
I'm going to go with Jack and Ty in my row. Got a couple of fast guys here. Ty Majeski looking to get his season turned around. Jock Wood, great qualifying effort for that 91 truck.
Let's take a look at the rest of the field. Some big names scattered throughout from front to back, gentlemen.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to Raja Caruth a little while ago, starting in the 13th spot. Was very good in practice, though, so it wouldn't be surprising to see him move forward fast.
And just behind him, you see Caden Honeycutt. We know how good he is week in, week out. Look for this 45 truck to charge up fourth front. And every page that flips, Regan, I see potential winners. And Gio Ruggiero is one on this list, along with many others that I think could win the race today.
And certainly Tanner Gray, the quickest in practice yesterday, had a very good truck. And Ross Chastain, we've talked about him. We know that he's going to be fast at some point today.
And rounding out the last 3 rows, we just talked to Chandler Smith. Keep your eye on the 38. You know we'll be talking about him.
The lawful Allen.
To our 2 pit reporters covering all the action today, Caitlin Vinci and Josh Sims. Good afternoon, Josh.
Well, Jamie, for the first time in a long time, Corey LaJoie is not full-time in the Cup Series. He's run a trio of races this season, but he's mostly been focused on his work as an analyst on TV. That was until an opportunity came to run 9 races with Spire in the Truck Series. And when I caught up with him yesterday after practice, he couldn't hide his excitement. He told me, Josh, I am just so excited to be back in the trenches, working to get my truck better, to diagnose issues and figure out how we can win races. And that right there is the key. He told me this isn't a springboard to get back anywhere. He said, I want to focus on the now, not just get wins for myself, but for his 3 young kids. And we'll see if he can do that today, Caitlin.
Well, Josh, Corey Heim has had a very busy weekend. Found out yesterday morning that he would be the relief driver for Jake Finch in the ARCA Menard Series. Talked with Corey earlier today. He said, actually, those opportunities are great for drivers to get that additional unexpected track time. He said, I definitely learned
Andy.
I can apply to the truck race today. He ended up finishing 2nd in the race yesterday for ARCA. Now, of course, his sights are set on the Truck Series here today. First start for him in a truck at Michigan. He's the keeper of 4 wins so far this season. He'll be chasing win number 5 from the 7th position today. Jamie?
Thank you, Caitlin. Have a good day down there. Michael, Craftsman Truck.
Not much. How you doing today, Andy?
Is fast. We talked about it.
Getting ready for some truck racing.
You can see they're only leaning on 18 degrees of banking in the corners on this 2-mile D-shaped oval. So you're doing a lot of hanging on, Regan, when you get down into these corners, trying to keep it wide open.
Well, Michael, they're going to be hanging on, and they're going to have to hang on for 125 laps today. More laps than we traditionally have run with the Craftsman Truck Series here at Michigan. But take a look at the stage lengths. That's going to be important. The final stage, 65 laps, they will have to make a pit stop at some point within that final stage. You see the fuel window, 36 to 39 laps. That could be a key moment in the race for many of these guys, Jamie.
Yeah, I love the fact this is the longest race we've ever had in Michigan with the Truck Series, 50 miles longer. And by the way, we haven't been here in 5 years. I can't wait to see what happens. All right, we've got a couple onboards bringing you all the action from the track. We've got Frankie Muniz with the Morgan & Morgan onboard starting 25th. And Lane Riggs in the 34. He's carrying the Ford Performance onboard, and he's rolling off 18th.
What great pictures these are, and we'll provide to the viewers here today. Look at that. Just how compact that cat looks in there. He's all settled in, ready to start rocking this thing.
Double check, make sure your gear fan's on here.
Let's listen to the radio for Corey Heim.
Hey, did anybody get up to the residue station? Take care of your truck. Got door going to the top here, really obviously. I think it's going to be big time, top amount of range, so try to get up as soon as possible and see where it goes.
Yeah, what Corey's talking about there is he's talking about getting to the top. We expect this track to get very wide today. The residue he was mentioning was something they put down in years past at Michigan, and it's kind of a line where the track's a little bit darker. The drivers can see that from the trucks. They know there could potentially be a little bit of grip up there, but just trying to understand where the track's at before they go green.
I think that's really interesting. You know, usually you're thinking, let's get to the bottom. Corey Heim's thinking, let's get to the top. That just tells you what an unpredictable race this is going to be this afternoon.
Such a beautiful day. 125 laps are ahead, 250 miles. Luke Fenhaus chose the outside here for the first time starting on pole in the Truck Series. Carson Hocevar will be starting to his left on the bottom.
All right, here we go.
It's race number 13 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Pace truck pulls off.
And here we go.
Next thing you see is the green flag.
Green flag is in the air. We are racing from Michigan.
Turnout in the stands. Flag is in the air. We're racing at Michigan International Speedway.
Fenhaus's truck got a little squirrely with him there when he punched the gas sideways, but he's got a nice little edge going into turn one.
Nice push from his teammate. Those Thor Sport trucks all working together early.
4 wide. Did we mention that earlier? Well, there it is.
Amazing how quickly it happened with that 4 wide. We wondered where it would take place for the first time. 1 and 2, it didn't take them very long.
Look at Jake Garcia.
Battle for the lead here. Teammates side by side. That's Jake Garcia wasting no time at all. They're 3 wide up front.
Oh, Jake got loose down there. You knew he would.
Connor Mozak now taking a peek to the outside.
And this is something we're going to see all day long. What happens if you get into the bottom? You see Luke Fenhaus right there, truck to the outside in Connor Mozak. And now they go 3 wide in the corner. Carson
Hocevar to the lead.
The opportunity to catch a draft and grab the lead.
And there he goes, Carson Hocevar leading at his home track.
That's what we expected we would see, Regan. You know, 3 wide and then the slide job, finishing the pass by driving up the track in front of the guy who's trying to get around.
What do you want to tell me, Andy?
And those trucks 2 wide only create more of a hole in the air. That hole in the air is what allowed Carson Hocevar to get up there, and we'll have to see. I was thinking maybe that they'd want to be getting to the top side, trying to keep the trucks from getting to their outside, but Carson said, nope, I'm going to take the bottom and go for it, as we see him now start to line up a little bit on the top side.
Well, you can tell there, too, Regan. Mozak in that 81, he could have made a move on Hocevar, but sometimes it's okay just to settle in. There's our cat in the Long John Silver's truck we talked to, Chandler Smith, racing with his teammate. Chandler's making some nice moves going forward.
Hearing there may be an issue with Raja Karuth, Caitlin.
Yeah, he came across the radio just a bit ago, said he thought he had a tire coming down right rear, so they've elected to bring him down pit road. You see him making the stop here to check, guys.
Josh comes off the highs of winning last week, and now early in this
Okay,
race,
well, I guess.
there's a tire issue on the right rear.
See if we can hop on board. Maybe with Frankie Muniz and see exactly what we saw with, oh, look at that. Grant down on the bottom got really loose.
Big slide up the track right in the middle of Crafton. Matt Crafton having to check up when that happens, and for Grant coming off of the bottom like that, it was just very difficult trying to catch that truck, and unfortunately everybody saw it happening.
We saw how close that could have been a track, and I was talking about what happened just before that with Raja. You could see sideways there. Great call to get Woe down and to pit road because that thing was hanging out.
How about Tanner Gray? Saved it there. He saw that coming, gets back in line.
You know, a mistake, a problem this early, Regan, we know he can overcome that. This is something that they can certainly come back from and win the race.
Definitely can overcome it. Going to be one lap down right now as we see Connor Mozak up there battling right now and jumps to the lead in front of Carson Hocevar. But speaking about Raja
Connor Mozak to the lead.
Time, don't panic right now. Think about it.
You know, I said earlier, you know, maybe Connor just rolled in behind Hocevar to buy some time. I thought to myself, there's no way Carson Hocevar is going to run one lap behind a guy that he can pass, and that's what he did. He went down the back straightaway and whipped right back to the lead.
What I see so far right now that I like a lot out of what's going on with these trucks, talking to a lot of the drivers, they had kind of predicted the runs would be very big at the end of the straightaways, but what could you do with them when you get to the end of the straightaways? We see right there what Tyler Ankrum chose to do with it. He went to the bottom to try and use that run and clear the truck in front of him. He's not going to be able to do it. He's going to lose a spot, but the key all day long is going to be they're not getting away from each other. They're able to utilize these runs and make big efforts like what Connor Mozak is doing right now.
Here we go, this battle between Connor Mozak and Carson Hocevar. I lead, no you lead, no I lead.
Yep, I did get a haircut.
The move there. Look how strong
My dad cut my hair this morning.
He's going to pull right up on the bumper of that 7 of Hocevar. That push is coming, and there goes Hocevar. He's not going to set behind another guy any part of this race.
Well, they know Corey Heim has been the man to beat every single week in the Truck Series, and now he's already moved his way up to third. Didn't have the best qualifying effort for those Tricon Garage trucks, but they are going to race well, and we're seeing it already. As you take a look at the biggest movers, haven't talked about Ross Chastain had that. Well, he started mid-pack. He's already up.
Your dad did well. I'll let him know that.
Back, as you said, Michael, up 14.
Yeah, we knew we were going to talk about these two. Ross Chastain, he's going to be at the lead of this race before it's over. I just think it's so crazy that he qualified 26th, and yet here he comes, already up 15 spots and gaining more.
I would say right now he's ahead of where we even thought he would be right now. It's 3 wide into turn 1. This just seems like it's going to be all day long, this kind of action.
What a great race so far. Look at Jake Garcia's on the bottom. He just lost 4 spots like that. Fenhouse leading this pack back in 4th. And here comes Corey Heim in the 11. He wants to lead for the first time today, Michael.
Corey was a part of this action. It looked too much fun for him just to sit back there and watch. He joined this battle, split the two that have been leading the majority of this race, see where it goes from here. They put a little bit of a gap between those 3 and the 4th place truck of Luke Fenhouse. See if Luke can use that track and join them back up.
So Hocevar continues to lead. Corey Heim, what he's been able to do this year, we're 12 races in. He has led in every single race. He has 4 wins to his credit. Hocevar in the 7 truck.
I've been to North Carolina.
Just jumps in.
I went to Charlotte a few years ago. The humidity's crazy.
To feel his truck out, understand as he gets towards the front of the pack now after starting in 7th, where exactly he needs to position himself on the racetrack to get this run that he's got down the front straightaway. And after he gets that run, will he use it or not? Right now he chooses not to. He's going to go ahead and push Carson Hocevar into the corner on this lap.
I'm watching timing and scoring, Regan, and consistently the fastest 5 trucks are outside of the top 10. That tells you how important that air is. Those guys running 15th, 20th have all those trucks to draft off.
Oh yeah, I'd figure.
We talk about how you lose speed when you get in dirty air, but here, because of so much throttle down and how wide the track is, you're taking advantage of using that draft to make yourself go faster.
We saw in your track analysis, Michael, how long the straightaways are, and it's way quicker to go in a straight line behind another truck than it would be otherwise.
I've been to Florida too. But that was in March, so it wasn't like that bad. There was actually one day in Florida when I went in like March 2014. It was like under 50 degrees. It was like 48 or some shit. It was ridiculous. But the pool that we swam in was heated, so we just stayed in the pool.
Really impressed with Luke Fenhouse, right? He starts on the pole. We saw him spin the tires just a little bit on the initial start of the race. Calm yourself down. You got pushed out to the lead. Okay, you lost the lead, but this is his first time at this racetrack at Michigan. So take your time, learn how the truck's going to respond, figure out what it's going to do, and stay calm for a little bit so you can report back to your team exactly how it's driving.
Look in the 9th place on the scoring pylon. Ross Chastain is already into the top 10. What a great run early in this race for this 44 truck. And I got to tell you, Regan, I was a little concerned because he didn't really have any problems in qualifying, and yet 26 fastest was all he could put down. But now Ross Chastain is doing Ross Chastain things, Josh.
Yeah, and you see Ross working his way through the field, and he felt really good about that truck yesterday despite not qualifying well.
Gotta swap phones.
And for him, this is a little bit of a get-back race.
Bro's gonna, you got 2 phones, one for the plug and one for the road.
The best truck that day. Feels similar about the truck today. We'll see if he can get a little get-back and get that win that he felt he should have had in 2019. Right now, saying the truck started off a little tight. Similar problem he reported in practice yesterday.
Yeah, Chastain up 17 positions, and Josh brought that up in the interview about what happened in his last race here. He's like, I didn't even want to watch a replay at all. That's out of my mind. I want to go out and win this race. He just has a few more spots to get up to the front as these two continue to battle up front. Carson Hocevar over Corey Heim.
There you see a great example of drafting and then flaring out. He went up top in the corner to get some fresh air on his nose, trying to keep that thing pinned to the ground. As you see, Raja, he lost 1 lap in that pit stop earlier with the flat tire, so he's in good shape still. I said he can overcome this. I still believe he can. Right now, he's the only.
Yeah, Raja had a flat tire.
Off the pace, so he's kind of hoping for an early caution, because if there's not one, Regan, I think some of the back markers in the field will fall a lap down, which will take him out of the lucky dog position.
16 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Carson Hocevar continues to lead Corey Heim, Connor Mosack. Luke Fenhouse from Michigan will step aside. You won't miss a thing as we go Fox side by side.
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nail, every second we shave, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in? Put the work in.
Mommy, I have to go potty.
You gotta do it, please.
Oh.
So, what's next?
Craftsman. What you build, builds you.
Put the work in.
Your new bike is officially protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer. We can now safely go wherever the wind takes us.
That's right.
It was one of those books that smelled bad, but in a good way, you know?
Did you swap your phones, Andy?
Oh, didn't think this through, did you?
No. You go without me. The owner and I aren't on speaking terms. Apparently the refills are limited.
Okay.
It's not okay.
Every stride writes a story, and history unfolds at the Belmont Stakes. Now, 2 thoroughbreds have dominated the headlines, but only one will get the last word. The Belmont Stakes, today, only on Fox.
It takes a lot to get my heart racing, but you gotta see this. There's absolutely nothing like NASCAR's only street race. This 4th of July weekend, NASCAR takes over Chicago, where you can get an up-close look at the sport's best drivers as they battle through downtown. And with live music from Zach Brown Band and Family Fun, it's a NASCAR experience on a whole other level. Hey, I'll be on the edge of my seat. NASCAR Chicago Street Race, July 5th and 6th.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, live from Michigan as Carson Hocevar continues to lead over Corey Heim. 107 laps to go, 12 laps to go in stage number 1. So what exactly is Corey Heim doing right now? Is he trying to figure things out for later in the race?
You got to believe that he is right now, right? We've seen him on the back bumper of Carson Hocevar a number of times and looking like he can potentially make that move. As we see lap traffic very dicey right now for these guys trying to pick the right lane, where to go, what to do to stay right there with your competition if you're Corey Heim, or to try and get a little bit of a gap if you're Carson Hocevar. But Jamie, what we're seeing there is these guys maybe trying to get themselves separated from some of the other trucks just a little bit, push themselves out ahead of the pack a little bit, and now we're to that part of the run, 20 laps in, where maybe handling characteristics are getting worse. You're finding out if your truck's loose, you're finding out if your truck's tight, Michael, and that can play a factor in how you race the rest of this stage.
Did a great job of taking advantage of that traffic, and look, he's closed in on those two leaders. But this is also another breaking news of the day. Raja Karuth is now not in the free pass position, so that's a bind for him. He needed an early caution to get back on the lead lap. How he handles this next pit stop will be interesting to see, because he's got good pace, but now Raja will not get back on the lead lap when the caution flies here at the end of this stage.
Yeah, Raja's not going to be in the free pass position.
Get an update on Ty Majeski back in 6th, Caitlin.
Ross Chastain's made his way up to 8th.
Yeah, so far so good.
Started back in 26th.
I had a chance to talk with Ty, of course, our defending champion. I talked with him about the struggles he's had so far this season. He said it's been a really challenging year, but he told me this is the highs and lows of racing. He said 6 months ago, we were king of the series, of course, as the champion, hoisting the trophy. Now he's yet to win this season. But he said this team usually does come alive in the summer months. So he told me he anticipates that will be the case this year. But he said if we had gone through a slump like this several years ago, I probably would have been down on myself, questioning my talent, questioning the team. But he said with this group, that never happens. He's very confident things will start to move in the right direction. And today, they're right now occupying that 5th spot. Jamie?
Yeah, that's a great point. He's had 6 finishes outside the top 10, but this team, this was kind of a duplicate of what we saw last year. I mean, ThorSport, it is kind of their MO. They wait till the summer months, things heat up, and then they start winning. And it wasn't until race number 15 last year, Michael, that ThorSport went to victory lane.
Yeah, and you can see how the seasons have started. The last two, a whole lot to brag about, but yet he won the championship, so they can overcome a whole lot of obstacles. And I like what I'm seeing today, Regan. We saw it in qualifying with all the speed from ThorSport, and now that speed's translating to the race as well, as there's a couple of those trucks up in the top 5 in Luke Fenhouse and Ty Majeski.
Yeah, and if you look at Ty Majeski, right, the beauty about him as a driver, that is a blue-collar driver right there. He is a workhorse. He knows every part and piece that's on that truck. He knows how to describe it to his team to help make that truck better, how to fix it if something's not exactly where they want it. And I think that's why you'll see his trend line continue to get better as the year goes. Much like last year, Jamie, by the time we got to Phoenix for the championship, this team was lights out when we got there, and he's a big part of that.
They were. Well, Chandler Smith, the driver that started on the last row, he had problems in qualifying up to 13th. What are you hearing, Josh?
Well, Jamie, you know, despite having 2 wins on the season for Chandler Smith, his big thing is consistency, especially during this last 6-race stretch. So, of course, it's nice to win, but he's also got 4 finishes of 13th or worse during that stretch. And he told me we just need to even things out right now. He was really excited about coming to this racetrack. Of course, has an issue in qualifying with the tire going down, but he's one of the biggest movers on the day so far. His only complaint with the truck says he needs more front turn.
I have a feeling in about 6 laps we're going to be seeing a busy pit road with lots of adjustments for these trucks.
Yeah, the more experienced you are, Jamie, the better that those adjustments will affect your truck. These drivers, such as Chandler Smith, who has a ton of NASCAR experience, he knows what he's looking to build. He's able to talk to his crew chief, his team, and they can make decisions based on his feedback because he has so much experience.
And something else to keep in mind for a guy like Chandler Smith or even Ross Chastain, both of whom have come from the back towards the front right now. They've had to work their equipment harder than maybe some of the guys at the front. They can run the lane just like they want to. They've had to ask for a little bit more out of those tires, and that can affect the handling balance. And sometimes you get further up in the field, the handling's going to change again. So they want to get as far forward as quick as they can so they can get a good read on what it's going to be later in the race.
Well, Grant Enfinger was up there in the mix for a bit. He's at 15th now. Let's listen in on his radio, what he's dealing with.
the crew chief, he's reporting what his issues are too. I told you that's another experienced veteran. He's able to tell exactly what he needs. The spotter's saying that no one else is doing very good at dirty air either. We see these guys zigging and zagging when they get to the corner. If one guy goes low, the other guy goes high.
And the challenge for Grant right there, right? We see the 15 of Tanner Gray in front of him. He caught up to him on the straightaway, but when he caught up to him, Tanner Gray opted to go to the bottom, so he couldn't go anywhere to get clean air. And what that air is, it's a bubble that gets created behind those trucks that allows them to be able to get downforce on the front of the trucks. It's almost like a 100-pound person sitting on the front of that truck to help them get grip.
This truck's impressive. You talk about how hard it is to pass. Caden Honeycutt talked earlier today about how this is a future Cup winner in Ross Chastain's eyes, and what he's doing right now is making everybody believe and see that. We know how hard it is to pass, but yet he's able to consistently slice through this field. Really fast truck. Last time by, the fastest truck on the track. So watch this 45 as he continues to work through traffic.
Up 10 spots for Caden Honeycutt. Great looking truck for him as the laps.
All right, coming to the final lap of the stage. Carson Hocevar is the leader.
Corey Heim starts to look a little bit higher to see if there's anything up there. There's a move by the 45 of Honeycutt. He's got another spot, Regan. This is impressive.
And that was a textbook move. Catch the draft all the way down the straightaway. Clear him when you make the move to the bottom into the corner. And then we see the 66 of Luke Fenhaus get a little bit tight behind him and lose the nose just a little bit. That's exactly how you want to do it.
Honeycutt up to 5th now. Can Corey Heim get it done here?
Way back a little bit, maybe, Regan.
Final lap of the stage.
To see if he can win this stage.
Well, and this is the point where we see if maybe Corey has been holding back just
Hocevar and Heim
Carson Hocevar
racing hard for it.
Exactly what he's got. We see him go to the top like he's been doing in 1 and 2.
Hocevar doesn't get any stage points or playoff points from this.
Than what he wants right here.
Final lap of stage number
It's just to
1.
set himself up well.
King of stage wins. He already has 9.
Here comes Heim.
Takes a look to the inside.
Heim to the inside.
You're right, Michael.
He got him.
Sizing him up.
Wow.
And made the pass. That's a playoff.
Corey Heim is going to win stage 1 at Michigan on a final lap pass.
Into turn 3 to really slow down the 7 of Carson Hocevar.
10th stage win of 2025, most all-time through 13 races, and it goes to that man, Corey Heim. He's just writing the history books, rewriting things, adding his name all over the books. Well done. He sized him up, makes the pass on the last lap to get stage win number 1 of the day.
Gary, used car shop.
It was about a 20-minute green flag run, a little bit over a 20-minute green flag run.
Come out and I'll show you a better way.
Start the race.
I know. I said nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident, but there's no reason to shop with fear.
Well, show me, Carfax.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay.
I wasn't scared.
Sure. Can we talk about the PJs?
I'll talk about them, as long as you keep it positive, because I like these things.
No fear, just Fox. Say, show me at Carfax.com.
Worlds Collide. What's that?
To tell
Is
you
it a
the
movie?
truth, we could take or leave the extravagance, the attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Rafael Devers leads the Red Sox against Aaron Judge and the rival Yankees tonight at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Construction work is risky business. One mistake, one unsafe condition, and your life can change instantly. At Stanley Law, we know construction accident laws inside and out. Using the Stanley system, we do our research, bring in the right expert witnesses, and leave no stone unturned to get you the maximum award. Just get here, because when we work together, we win.
When summer heat hits upstate New York, trust your comfort to Holbrook Heating and Air Conditioning. Family owned and operated since 1983, we've been keeping homes cool and comfortable for 2 generations. As a Greenbro partner, we offer top quality HVAC solutions and year-round indoor air quality service. Regular maintenance ensures your system runs efficiently, keeping your family comfortable all year long. For reliable service and peace of mind, choose Holbrook Heating and Air Conditioning. Your comfort is our business.
Cuts, scrapes, stitches, other urgent care need? Oswego Health offers the safest urgent care locations in Fulton and Central Square. And now you can schedule and check in from the convenience of your own home. At Oswego Health, we care about what matters most. You.
Who has the right of way? No stop sign or light, but the driver still has to slow down or stop. Pedestrians have the right of way. See and be seen.
This is the Mahindra Roxor, the side-by-side that doesn't play by the rules. The other guys think plastic can hack it. The Roxor rides with steel. They pull back on power. The Roxor packs a turbo diesel punch. And when they start breaking down, the Roxor's barely broken in. The Mahindra Roxor, built like nothing else. Our best in the field deals are here. Get 0% on select models on a new Roxor today.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from Michigan. So just like that, stage one is in the books, and what a stage it was. 4 different leaders, and Corey Heim held his own, held on, just tucked in behind Carson Hocevar, made his move on the last lap to get that stage win, the playoff point, and now he has led in all 13 races this season. Pretty amazing stuff. Well, speaking of amazing stuff, the 2 gentlemen standing to my left, they know how to get around this place and find victory. Let's look at yours, Michael.
Yeah, mine was really special. I have a really awesome Dale Earnhardt memory of winning this race that day. Holding off Fox Sports colleague Tom Bodine, able to get around him late in the going and drive off and win the race. And the trophy in Michigan is really cool. I won the Cabela's 250, and it's 2 bears screaming at each other. But that was a special day for me and my little team from Charles Ford, North Carolina. Tell me about your win, Regan.
Well, it wasn't quite as exciting as the beating and banging that you had to do there, Michael, but nonetheless, just as special to me. Of course, Junior Motorsports back in those days is who I was driving for. And Kyle Larson, opportunity to go out there and beat Kyle Larson, which I don't know that I did that too many times in my career, so I try to take the opportunities when they're there to enjoy that, and certainly Kyle has gone on to great Cup success since that day right there. But what a fun racetrack, and what a cool place to race as we're seeing right now.
You've gone on to great success. Look at you rubbing elbows in the booth. You're on pit road. I think I had the interview when you won that day. That brings back some good memories.
It was definitely good memories, and I didn't get the roar, the boos that you got, but it was still a lot of fun, and the trophy was great.
Yes. How about the last lap of that stage number 1, Corey Heim, right?
I just think that shows you how talented and smart this kid is. He could have clearly gotten that move done on Carson before the last lap to see if it would have worked or not. But then Carson was just going to do it right back to him. So the fact that he just knew that he was good enough to patiently wait and do it on the last lap, coming to the green-white checker, that's pretty cool.
Very tactical by Corey Heim, and we'll have to see if he uses that later in the race again.
Corey Heim over Carson Hocevar, Connor Mozak, and pit road is open. They're coming your way, Josh.
And let's start with the 44 of Ross Chastain. Started the race 26, got all the way up to 8th. By the end of that stage, came over the radio and said the truck just too tight for him right now. So they're going to make a few adjustments to free him up and get that thing to turn a little bit better.
Carson Hocevar in the middle of your screen, second in the stage, 3rd truck start of the year, saying he was just free the whole time. He said I could use a little more security in the rear, asked for a small adjustment. And then, of course, Corey Heim at the top of your screen made that impressive stage win. Said really good the whole time, but maybe a little loose, requesting no changes, but they said they will pull a piece of tape off that 11. Jamie?
Thank you, Caitlin. Yes, a lot of adjustments to these race trucks. Regan, to your point, they know what they have, they know what they needed to be better here for this restart coming up.
We'll see the two leaders right there appear to hold serve off of pit road, meaning they stayed in their positions. Nice job by their pit crews, and not going to be a lot of opportunities to work on these trucks today if you do need something significant, and we may see some guys that have to get a little additional work there.
Absolutely. Stage number 2.
Yep, Corey Heim wins the race off pit road there.
Just like stage
He'll lead the field of the green.
Corey Heim, hang on. We'll be back from Michigan. Ride that horse.
So, you like NASCAR but don't know who to root for? Here's some Toyota legends you can get behind. Meet Tyler Reddick. Crushed it in Xfinity Series and now he's here. Basically the Cinderella story if Cinderella drove 200 miles per hour. Then there's John Hunter Nemechek. New kid on the block, all gas, no brakes. Oh, and Denny Hamlin. Ever heard of Daytona? He's won it 3 times. No big deal. We have a lot of drivers, all legends. You pick. You in?
At Ace, however you grill, we've got the perfect one for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. That sounds pretty perfect.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Huge news. You can get a Son of for just $3. Wait, I said son of. Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3. Thank you. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
2 thoroughbreds have dominated the headlines, but only one will get the last word. The Belmont Stakes, today, only on Fox.
There's one law firm that effectively handles the most serious personal injury cases. The Porter Law Group. Securing over $500 million in compensation for the individuals and families they represent. Providing their clients with the answers and justice they deserve. The Porter Law Group. You only get one chance to hire the right law firm. The Porter Law Group. Don't settle for less.
The sky is falling. Bad economy, high housing prices, stock market uncertainty. Pawn King to the rescue. Pawn King puts cash in your pocket on the spot. Sell us your electronics, power tools, old broken gold, and jewelry. PawnKingNY.com.
Best Buy Auto Sales. Hundreds of cars, trucks, and SUVs to choose from. Guaranteed financing for all types of credit with the lowest down payments and monthly payments in the area. Now with 5 locations across upstate. Get approved today at BestBuyCarSales.com.
The Roofing Guys has installed top quality roofs across central New York. We're licensed, fully insured, and Angie approved. Our work comes with the best warranty available, and we offer 0 down financing. The Roofing Guys, 20 years of roofing excellence.
We want your scrap at Coloss Junkyard and Scrap Recycling. We want your old vehicles. Need it gone? No converter? No problem. We'll pick it up and give you cash on the spot. Scrap, tin, steel, copper. We buy it all. Turn your trash into cash at Coloss Junkyard and Scrap Recycling.
Thanks for watching Fox 68 WSYT.
To Haggerty, it's obvious. One of these cars is not like the others. It's harder to operate, but easier to enjoy. You use it less, but you love it more. And if something goes wrong, it's a lot harder to replace. It's not your everyday car, so don't pay more for everyday insurance. Pay a better price for better coverage from Haggerty. Quote today at Haggerty.com.
It's a big day of racing here on Fox, and I don't just mean the Craftsman Truck Series. Horse racing's greatest test returns as sovereignty and journalism. They face off in the 157th Belmont Stakes. 2 of the season's biggest names in one race to settle it all. Coverage begins today at 4 Eastern, live on Fox. So, to put it in perspective, we are racing here at a 2-mile oval. Those horses will race for 1.5 miles. It's the longest of the Triple Crown races.
Big day on Fox, and just a beautiful scenery here in Michigan. How cool is this racetrack? Infield is packed. Great crowd in the grandstands. We're having a great race.
Getting ready to go back green.
And the drivers were feeding off the energy of how many fans. They all mentioned it this morning. Things got started bright and early. Qualifying was at 8 a.m. this morning. As the fans rise to their feet, we are getting ready to go green for
green flag.
Number 2. It's Corey Heim, Carson
Nice even start as Connor Mozak started on the front row. They're choosing up, and when they choose up, the lineup gets all flipped around, but this is the same action we saw from the very beginning.
Hocevar behind Corey Heim on the outside. Connor Mozak has been so quick, wasted no time in stage 1 getting to the front.
This is when those spotters are so valuable, Regan. Look how tight these things are.
We see the shot right now that Carson Hocevar is giving Corey Heim. Carson actually chose the outside behind Corey Heim, and you see why. When they got to the back straightaway, knew he would be able to push him out there, and they could clear for the lead right there, which is exactly what they did.
Look at Ty Majeski, defending series champion, up to 3rd.
JBL truck, the bright orange truck. He's made his presence known up there toward the top. Oh, look how close that
Damn.
is. Tyler Ingram trying to cut off Ross Chastain. Not only did he try to, he did. He cut him off. He blocked him.
And the result from that move, right? Ross Chastain loses all of his momentum. He's trying to get back up in line. He chooses to do so in front of Chandler Smith, but we saw how tight that got right there as he tries to throw another block on Chandler. Chandler's not having it this time, though.
Chandler makes the move, gets around Ross Chastain. Had a little help maybe from Daniel Hemrick right there in the 19 truck.
And we're going to continue to see that get more and more aggressive as the race goes on. The pushes, when you make the moves, how you trying to get past the guys in front of you. They're going to be more critical. It's going to be more important as we're seeing right here. Very aggressive pushes down the front straightaway.
And pushes for the lead, too. Tom Majeski trying to give Hocevar the push he needs. He loses momentum. And here comes Connor Mozak again. Wow. Just great racing. Caden Honeycutt's going to flare up high in that 45. He's joined this battle.
And we saw this during the initial start of the race, how packed up these guys got towards the front. It took until about 15 to 20 laps in to the run before maybe there was some separation. The difference is a couple different players up there right now. Tom Majeski in third. What's his truck going to do as the run gets long?
Caden Honeycutt right there was on the move. He had Gio Ruggiero in that 17 cleared. Lost that momentum, gave up that spot, back to 6th.
There's just no way to explain how crazy that air is. I mean, to me, these guys have a choice every lap. Do they push or do they pull out? They can do either one, as you see the pull out there for the lead.
Here comes Carson Hocevar. Lost that lead to the 11 and Corey Heim on the last lap of stage 1. Now he regains the lead here. 20 laps to go in stage number 2.
Carson really made that move look relatively simple as they went into turn 3 to complete that pass. But these guys are both they're both seeing where each other's at right now, right? They're putting things in their memory bank for later in the race. As we see side by side right now, Ross Chastain again side by side with somebody.
Here comes Chandler. He chooses to take the high road, pushes that 18 truck of Tyler Ingram into the corner. Look how they just left Ross setting.
Chandler Smith. Well, Michael, you talked to him on the radio at the start of the race, starting on the last row. He was in a good mood. Chippy, happy, knew he had something good to work with, and here he is inside the top 10 for the first time today.
Corey Heim, that was one of those choices just to ride in behind that 7 truck.
So you see there on the pylon, Carson Hocevar, the leader, he has the clock next to him. That means he has turned the fastest lap of the day. If you are a Truck Series regular, that earns you an extra point. He's not a regular. He doesn't get the point, but he is the fastest.
Regulars behind him, they see that clock. They want that and get that extra point before this race is over.
Well, I'm just surprised it isn't on Heim time. Just an update on the 71 of Rajah. He's going to have to come to pit road pretty quickly. They stayed out, took the wave around after that caution, hoping for a quick caution to get back on the lead lap. So here he comes to pit road. So they'll just continue to work to try to get that lap back. Can he stop just fast enough to get a splash of gas and stay on the lead lap? I don't think so, Regan. The leaders are already off turn 2.
Yeah, it seems like it would be really tight to make that work. But what the play was there, let's see if we get a quick yellow on this restart. If we can get a quick yellow, then all of a sudden it changed their races. They are going to opt to change tires on this stop, Michael, but I don't hate that move, right? You got to try something to get that lap back at some point.
And what he'll do is just stay out at the end of this caution, at the end of this stage, if nothing happens between now and then be ready to run into that 3rd stage. We've already documented that you're going to have to stop in and get gas.
This battle back here for 12th. Daniel Hemrick, Andres Perez, Lane Riggs. Haven't talked a whole lot about him as we go on board. Goes to the inside, picks up, tries to clear Andres Perez. He does for 13.
I wouldn't say he gives up quickly.
And that's the challenge with making the pass on corner exit, is that the truck on the outside he's actually going to lose a spot here. Grant Enfinger puts him 3 wide. Now can Grant complete it or not? He's going to come up next to him and get the side draft off of Grant, trying to slow him down even more than he already was. But you see what happens. Grant chases him to the bottom, and that side draft just affects both of those trucks as it's getting wild up here.
Matt Crafton said, I see it opening, and I think I'm going to take it.
18 truckers in the field have never raced a truck here. Meanwhile, the guy in the 88 right there making that big move. His 20th truck race here at Michigan.
Wallace Allen in that 1 truck. He joins this battle, gives Riggs a shove, leaves Matt in their dust. As we look at the battle for 4th on the other side of the screen, Gio's really fast right now, trying to get under that 45 of Caden Honeycutt. Didn't quite get there, Regan. Man, just a game of inches, isn't it?
It really is. And that's why, as the race plays out, it does get so incredibly critical to have that communication with your spotter to be able to make those clears when the moment comes. And we could see mistakes on that as the race plays out, that you think you're clear, you try to take it, your spotter doesn't say it, you turn yourself into the fence, and they're going to have to be very careful as we get further into this thing.
Matt Crafton had a decision to make here, and watch Regan when he flares to the inside. Gives him a little block. And wow, did he really have to go down there?
Definitely a bold move by Matt Crafton right there, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for him, though. He lost spots when it was all said and done out of that.
Three-truck tandem here for the lead. I really like what I'm seeing out of that 98 truck of Ty Majeski. It was getting better the longer we ran, but also it looks like they went the right direction with the adjustments.
Yeah, it's something else to keep an eye on. You see the nose of Carson.
I think you and Rafa haven't seen this before. Tony Stewart interview on Cartoon Network.
You'll have to keep an eye on the temperature in that truck. If it starts to climb at the end, addiction can be a struggle. He's someone can duck back in behind these other trucks. The good news is we've seen them dicing it up quite a bit today, so it should be relatively simple to get that off.
You know how easy it's going to be able to get. I mean, it's just usually at a racetrack, you know, you got to slow down and wait for somebody to get ahead of you so you can get that debris off. But he's just in a good spot now. I'm sure if anything starts to happen, he will just see you off the gas a little bit. That'll run behind him. The air from the other trucks will suck that debris off the nose of the 7 truck.
Different leaders today. Carson Hocevar, who continues to lead in the 7th truck and most at 35. Corey Heim led 11 laps today. Connor Mosak won. And Luke Fenhouse was the pole sitter. He led 1 lap. 11 laps to go here in stage number 2 from Michigan. Carson Hocevar continues to lead.
Probably the biggest difference between my car and a passenger car. My race car doesn't have air conditioning, stereo.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. But when you've won it all, 7 times, the trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner.
Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie. Plus, get $2,500 bonus cash on select models and dealer inventory.
Stock cars when racing against the custom car. I knew at a young age that I wanted to be a race car driver, so when I was 8 years old, I started in go-karts, and that's probably the best form of racing that you can get into as a kid. Go to a couple races and go to go-kart races and see if it's something you think you're interested in. And if so, tell your parents.
Do it all with Steel Battery.
Give 110%.
Don't miss Steel Deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
We asked Howie Mandel to describe new hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
They're like little soft puff jackets for your feet. These are like cozy little slippers for the street.
Introducing new hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins. Ultra-comfortable sneakers you just step into with no bending down or touching.
My blood sugar is borderline. I can worry about it, or I can do something about it. The new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar formula works safely and naturally with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic.
This summer, Major League Baseball races into Bristol Motor Speedway for a high-octane showdown between the Braves and Reds at the MLB Speedway Classic at Bristol. The party starts early with a special pre-game concert featuring music superstar Tim McGraw. This isn't just another baseball game. It's a Major League Baseball game at Bristol, baby. Lock in your tickets now and gear up for this historic MLB event. Visit MLB.com/Speedway Classic for details.
The IndyCar Series roars into the heartland as Alex Palou looks to continue his legendary season with a win under the lights in St. Louis. June 15th on Fox. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
What do you drink when you win the Indy 500?
Drink the milk.
We drink the milk.
There is life outside of racing. Maybe that helps me get a girlfriend.
100 Days to Indy. Stream every episode now on Fox Nation.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
New leader at Michigan as Corey Heim has taken over the lead, but it was kind of by design. He's actually helping out a fellow competitor.
As we went to break, we saw that Carson Hocevar had that debris on the grill of the number 7 truck right there, and you'll see him right here stick his hand out the window. That is the friendly number 1. That's him pointing Corey Heim by, saying, please pass me, I need to get behind you, I want to get this debris off of the grill. And that's exactly what he was able to do, Michael. Corey Heim goes by him, and shortly thereafter, able to get that debris.
And you might ask, why would Corey Heim do that? If Carson's engines run hot, just let him stay out there and run hot. Well, because if Corey Heim doesn't pass him and he just stays behind him, somebody else is going to go up there and pass him. It seemed like it was friendly, and it was, but it was just something that you have to take advantage of when the leader tells you to go around.
And you might ask, how do you get that off of the nose of it? That turbulent air behind the truck, it's so turbulent, it upsets what's going on the front of the truck.
So 6 to go in the stage. Corey Heim still leading.
The air disrupts that enough, and it changes the air pressure enough. It blows right off of there. And as you see, Carson Hocevar has now worked his way back up to second. He had fallen back to third for a moment behind Ty Majeski, but trying to get back up there and get to Heim.
And this is an interesting part of the race for me, too, Regan. We saw what Corey Heim was able to do to Hocevar in that first stage. Now the roles are reversed. Can Corey Heim figure out a way to block Carson Hocevar and not let him around?
And that's going to be something he'll have to watch as we get further into the race. But we just saw that shot right there. Look at the nose of the 7. And now he's got another huge piece of debris on the nose of it that they'll have to keep an eye again.
Oh, I think it's off.
Doing it, it did get off. Okay.
Corey helping him out again.
Can Corey hold off? See that big run right there? That's what Carson's going to do on the last lap. That's what he's just playing around with now. He's playing with this throttle pedal, falling back enough to see how big of a run he can get. And Corey's got to figure out how he's going to block that run. He desperately wants to win this stage as well. That playoff point could mean everything when it comes to racing for a championship. But you know how good Carson Hocevar is, and he's got him sized up right now.
And a little interesting here, so we see that Carson Hocevar in the 7 truck going lower than Corey Heim. It was actually the opposite at the end of stage 1, to whereas Carson Hocevar was running down on the bottom, Corey Heim was actually using the high side to create that run. And we'll have to see how that plays out for the run that Carson's able to create when he's making those moves.
And if Carson starts trying to roll off the gas a little bit, or excuse me, Corey as a leader, just to keep that big gap from developing him and Hocevar, then here comes Ty Majeski. Here comes Caden Honeycutt. They're inviting more people over to the party, and I don't think they want that either.
It's just so fun to see two very highly intelligent race car drivers, right, that are out there trying to figure out exactly which way it's going to work out best for them.
It is pretty cool, Andy.
Their position, of course, being different now than it was the previous stage.
They're playing with air. That's what they're doing right now. They're using their throttle. They're using their, maybe dragging the brakes a little bit, just playing with the air to get the best scenario for this run to the checkers.
2 laps remaining in stage number 2 is Hocevar. He's trying. Can't make it work just yet.
See, he ducks back in, and
maybe just a little plan there to see if he can make it work like that. It did work. Now he gets ready to go ahead and begin on the last lap.
We saw this move by Corey Heim over Carson Hocevar on the last lap of stage 1, and it worked beautifully.
It worked down into turn 3, though. We'll see if Hocevar says, remember what you did to me, buddy?
All right, final lap of the stage.
I don't think he goes now. Oh, yes, he does.
Hocevar and Heim racing for the stage 2 win. Heim has the lead.
In front of Carson Hocevar's truck, trying to do everything he can to just give him a curveball that he doesn't expect. See him go to the bottom. He's trying to break the air from behind him, not allow Carson to get a run on him.
That was a great move by Heim. That broke up that draft enough to put a couple of 3 extra.
Coming to the end of stage 2. Corey Heim, the leader. And he is going to win stage 2 at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan.
Both stages of a race. Masterful job working the air, Regan. That was a great explanation of exactly what they were doing and working.
That was about a 15-minute green flag run. I'm going to go outside and smoke, and I'll be back for the start of the final stage.
Corey Heim back to do Corey Heim things. Picks up his second stage win of the day. He holds off Carson Hocevar. We'll have pit stops on the other side.
We're here. Progressive's accident response detected an accident and sent for help.
Did we beat him? Where's Superman?
saving the world, maybe?
So we did it.
Yeah, I don't think car insurance is really his thing. Not with us around.
Yeah, I already called a tow truck and started your claim.
I guess not all heroes wear capes.
Yep, some wear tummy capes.
Ew, what? Don't say things like that out loud.
No.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Put the work in.
Mommy, I have to go potty.
You gotta do it, please.
Oh.
So, what's next?
Craftsman. What you build, builds you.
Put the work in.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance. The attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Hands-free Skechers slip-ins now come in Glide Step Max Cushioning, which actually gave me an idea to combine all my favorite sports into one. White Ace, hunt! Carpath only. Try Glide Step Max Cushioning Hands-free Skechers slip-ins.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new buffalo, layered with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket. Get yours now only at DQ.
I was a little caught off guard by this partnership. Frankie's a big star, but he really does seem to get in the middle of things. Calls.
Of course we're going to be able to take this case.
Danny!
Hey, not right now, man.
Meetings. This year has started off. Everything, really.
Can I squeeze in the middle here?
But really, super stoked to have him here.
Morgan & Morgan and Eunice, America's largest injury law firm.
Shady Rays sunglasses. Break them or lose them. We'll replace them. Easy as that.
Kyle's gonna need new Shady Rays Titan.
Let's get him another pair fast.
How you doing?
That's good. How about you?
Hi.
Shady Rays. Eyewear that has your back.
NASCAR Truck Series Racing on Fox is sponsored by Progressive. Progressive protects your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and RV, and could save you money. Well, let's take a look now at our Progressive race summary. Corey Heim, the leader. We've had 4 different leaders. He's led 24, but it's Carson Hocevar who's led the most.
And I think that lead changes at 6 right there. We very easily could be up around 15 or 20 right now had those guys been taking every run that they could. But certainly a race in which guys are sizing each other up as they're planning this thing out, and been a lot of fun so far.
Another part of our Progressive race summary is on that caution. Raja Karuth, our last winner in the Truck Series, he got his lap back. He will be the free pass and wave his way around and make his way onto the lead lap. And he's had a fast truck. I've been watching his lap times, Regan. He's got something to contend. But I talked earlier, we need to make those mistakes, have problems early, and get them behind us. It's taken him all the way to the end of the second stage to get back in position to go race these guys. We'll see what he's got. There's that beautiful HendrickCars.com truck.
Guys, the wait over the last 5 years was worth it. The truckers have been away since 2020. So glad that they're back at this historic track. I mean, not just the biggest names in NASCAR have won here. It's the biggest names in open wheel racing as well. This place has just been around, and it never fails.
Big pit stop here. We can't have a mistake. Got to make sure we execute on pit road.
So we talked a lot about Heim and Hocevar and them passing each other, working together to get debris off the nose. They have a little bit of a history, Michael. Regan, you were on pit road for this one back in 2023.
Yeah, that one really got on my nerves. Just drove in there and made a mistake. You know, I guess it was a mistake, and he just wiped out Corey Heim that was going for a championship. And Corey Heim said, well, if I'm not winning it, you ain't winning it. And these guys have had sort of bad blood ever since this night in Phoenix, and I don't blame him. This, you know, you got to roll up your sleeves every now and then. And Corey rolled his up and said, "I'm taking you out now."
Well, I guarantee that they're both remembering that right now today. They want to beat each other today.
Absolutely. A lot on the line. They're coming your way, Josh.
Let's start with the 45. Caden Honeycutt fired off tight during the first stage, made some adjustments, and he said the truck was actually tighter firing off during that last run. Team said we're going to make some air pressure adjustments to help him out. Felt he needs just a little bit more to be able to run with that top three trio.
Well, looking at Carson Hocevar in the middle of your screen, he was at water temp 220. Optimal temperature is 180 to 210, so he felt a little down on power since he overheated. Also said he needs more front turn. The rear is fine. His crew chief assured him that engine is okay. Now looking at Corey Heim at the top of your screen, saying just a tick free, lacking maneuverability overall. Wants to be secured up a bit. His crew chief said they'll make an air pressure adjustment for the 11. Jamie?
The 11 crew got it done last time. They get it done this time. Corey Heim out front. And the rest follow suit, Michael.
Looks like Caden Honeycutt maybe popped up his mind. Yeah, he did. That's been a fast truck. Have my eye on him. We'll see what he can do now that he's going to be in that second row. Maybe even on the front row if he chooses to be.
All the adjustments are in the books. We'll probably have at least one more stop. We have to. As you see the pit crew, look at this. Yes. They celebrate every time. Got it done. Heim time.
Before taking Breztri for my COPD, I had bad days. Days ruined by flare-ups that could permanently damage my lungs. Then, I talked to my doctor about Breztri, and I noticed things changed. Breztri gave me better breathing. Starting within 5 minutes, my lung function improved. Breztri also helped improve my symptoms, and was even proven to reduce flare-ups, including those that could send me to the hospital. Now, I worry less about bad days and enjoy more good days.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur. Can't afford your medication? AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Ask your doctor about Breztri for COPD.
I am allergic to shellfish.
The chicken sat on top of those shrimp. It's a matter of life and death. I'm coming in.
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service, only Wednesday on Fox.
Here's summer, work or play. The new 25 Toyota Tacoma is a perfect fit. Buy your SR Double Cab 4x2 for $37,084 and get 4.75 for 60 financing. Signed, Burdick Toyota. See BurdickToyota.com.
Elevated is your full-service local elevator company. We pride ourselves on old-school customer service. You can reach us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you will speak to a live person. Whether you're looking to modernize or have general maintenance, we're ready to meet with you and have a discussion. Your equipment is your investment. If you need help maintaining it, give us a call. Call Elevated today to see how we can elevate your experience.
If you think high energy bills are just a winter problem, think again. Your AC runs on electricity, and in the summer, those costs skyrocket. The problem is poor insulation that lets the heat pour in, forcing your AC to work overheat. Zero Draft Spray Foam insulation blocks the heat, keeping your home cool and cutting your energy bill. So stay comfortable for less. Call Zero Draft to seal those gaps.
So get ready for the start of the final stage.
To call. Her name says it all. Zero Draft.
Dear summer, work or play, we've got the legendary Toyota Tundra you've been looking for. Now get 1.99 for 60 months financing on gas.
Looks like it's going to be about like 58 to go when we go back green.
SmartPath at BurdickToyota.com.
You're watching Fox 68, WSYT 68.1.
Maybe
Some
57.
folks are drawn to open country. Others crave the wild roar of a high-performance exhaust. And some like both. We call them family.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum deck mower. The most powerful mower in its class, producing the perfect razor-sharp cut. Find an Ego retailer near you.
June 15th, Alex Palou looks to continue his legendary season with another victory as the fastest racers in the world head to St. Louis. The IndyCar Series continues June 15th on Fox. And Alex Palou, we say legendary season. He's won 5 times, including the Indy 500 this year. But it's Kyle Kirkwood who has stopped that streak, not once, but twice. And he did it last weekend in Detroit. So looking forward to seeing if it's one of those two, or maybe Joseph Newgarden backs up his win from last year at St. Louis.
And what a wild and exciting race at Detroit. Back and forth and had some cautions and late race drama. It was a lot of fun to watch.
They haven't had a lot of cautions this year. So yes, that race had a little bit of everything. Well, Michael, you were busy this week. You were down in Atlanta.
Yeah, talking about a little bit of everything. Sure did have a good time this past Tuesday in Atlanta when we renamed the Atlanta Motor Speedway with fireworks and all.
Look at that.
To the Echo Park Speedway.
Which is fucking dumb.
Trade-in value in America, and we traded that thing in. There you see Marcus and David Smith, Governor Kent, First Lady Marty. Just a great day. Christopher Bell showed up, Ross Chastain, Kyle Petty. Look at all the dignitaries, and then there I stand. What is that all about?
I love that they got Ross holding something other than a watermelon for once. A peach.
Hey,
It must have killed him to do that.
It was funny because they were trying to get him to bust a watermelon, and he said, I'd like to try to save that for my wins, so how about we just hold some peaches? What a great day it was at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, though.
Well, it looks great, and now we have to train ourselves to call it.
Yeah, it was the Atlanta Park. It was the Atlanta Motor. We were at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now it's the Echo Park Speedway.
The choose haven't just taken place. Interesting here. Take a look at how things got shuffled up just a little bit. Corey Heim and Carson Hocevar choose the outside, but Caden Honeycutt now going to get all the way up to the front row. We've seen him making a lot of passes today.
Keep your eye on the 45. Let's get an update on Raja Caruth. Caitlin, what are you hearing?
Yeah, well, Jamie, remember he had that tire issue earlier in the race, set them back, but he just made a pit stop saying he was aerotight on exit. Nothing too bad, but he wanted to be freed up, so the team made an air pressure adjustment. He's back on the lead lap, but this has definitely been a race of attrition so far for Raja Caruth. Jamie?
So Raja's on the lead lap in 27.
From early on when they had that tire issue.
Yeah, and the goal for Raja now, right? It may be difficult to get back to all the way back to the front, but you want to minimize damage for the day. You had the problem early on. Don't try to get too much all at once.
See the stage points for today. Corey Heim, he's gotten all of them. He's maximized it per usual. Ty Majeski with a nice job. That truck coming to life. I think he's going to be one
All right, coming back green.
to give Corey Heim a run for his money. And then Caden Honeycutt.
Going to be 57 laps to go at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, in the truck race.
Outside green flag is in the air. It is the third and final stage from Michigan.
Feel like you want to eat, but you're not hungry.
As well, we saw how fast he was in practice.
Then just eat anyway.
Battle of the bigger bushes there to start this one.
And you see, much like the last restart, the outside lane, as they come off at turn 2, starts to prevail. That's why those two opted to make that choice. But a great job by Caden Honeycutt right there to get back up there, to fill that hole, which then gives him the shove to hold that third place.
Look at Connor Mozak, still trucking in the 81. They have made some noise today, running up in the top 5. Fifth now.
That was contact. Another inch closer, and it's a crash. And I talked earlier about spotters. Those spotters are going to get braver and braver and making those moves even more and more dicey as we race toward the checker.
And look who's out front, Carson Hocevar. These two have been back and forth up front today.
Lane race is not that good today.
Laps and counting, Heim
Yeah.
29.
Big push.
Running 14th.
This is a thinking man's game right now, Regan. These guys are going to spend the next 50 laps just trying to calculate.
Ross running in 8th.
What they need to do to get
Or sorry,
themselves
he's
in a
running in
position
5th
to
now.
make that
That's
one final pass at the right time.
On the left side of the screen, Michael, we see them trying to calculate. On the other side was guys that are in a hornet's nest, just trying to get up there where they can think about calculating it.
Those 4 trucks there, since about midway point of the second stage, have been.
surprised no crashes. Yeah, I mean there's still a bit to go.
Lap after lap, so the cream has certainly risen. You see here a great push. Corey LaJoie trying to get into the conversation. I just been surprised a bit that Lane Riggs or Chandler Smith, either one, haven't been able to make their way to the front. Regan, week in and week out, we talk about those guys.
Oh, well, ground goes the Jack Wood.
Outside wall, caution is out. The first for incident.
There we
I
go.
think it was too hard, so hopefully he can drive around and get her tuned back up. You see a lot of damage to that.
That was a little bit over a 2-minute green flag run.
Jack Wood was 21st at the moment of that impact.
He's going to bring it to pit road.
She scratched up, Michael, but doesn't look too bad, to your point.
Kind of tracking okay. There'll be some flat tires and some skint up sheet metal on that left side. See if we can catch what happens. Whoa, that's classic just loose, right, Regan?
Yeah, just got up into some what looked to be some air that he wasn't comfortable with, and you could see the front of the truck hop a little bit as he got up there, and almost like once that happened, he just broke all traction, and it just came around, unfortunately, and Jack running in the 21st place and was trying to get his way back further forward in the pack.
You can see that's the contact to the left rear. Hopefully they can
Chester
bash her out, finish her up at least.
He's eating. He can eat.
Let's hop on board with our buddy Frankie Muniz in the Muniz and Morgan truck. Man, that's a good feeling, isn't it, Regan, when you see a guy starting to slip and like in the right direction. You know the low line is what you need.
And just a classic Michigan spin right there, right? You get caught in a bad area if you're Jack Wood in terms of the errors I just mentioned a moment ago, and you feel so helpless as a driver because you know that it's coming around and there's just not a lot you can do about it.
Tough break for Jack Wood and a great qualifying effort this morning. There is the reason we are under caution in Michigan.
I was a little caught off guard by this partnership. Frankie's a big star, but he really does seem to get in the middle of things. Calls.
Of course we're going to be able to take this case, man.
Danny!
Hey, not right now, man.
Meetings. This year has started off. Everything, really.
Can I squeeze in the middle here? Sorry.
But really, super stoked to have him here.
Morgan and Muniz, America's largest injury law firm.
Put the work in.
Mommy, I have to go potty.
You gotta do it, please.
Oh. So, what's next?
Craftsman. What you build, builds you.
Put the work in.
I've always been an active person. Yoga is a big part of who I am. I love how it makes me feel. But not long ago, I felt I had to hang up this old yoga mat. You see, I have symptomatic obstructive HCM, which left me so short of breath. I felt like a bystander in my own life. So I talked to my cardiologist, and he prescribed Camzyos. He said it works by targeting what's causing my obstructive HCM.
Camzyos is used to treat adults with symptomatic obstructive HCM. Camzyos may improve your symptoms and ability to be active. Camzyos may cause serious side effects, including heart failure that can lead to death, a risk that's increased with a serious infection, irregular heartbeat, or with certain other medicines. Do not stop, start, or change medicines or dose without telling your doctor. You must have echocardiograms before and during treatment. Seek help if you have new or worsening heart failure symptoms. Camzyos is only available through a restricted program. Before taking Camzyos, tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and current or planned pregnancy.
With Camzyos reducing my symptoms, I've gone from sitting on the sidelines to being back in the game. My name is Stephanie, and this is my Camzyos moment. Call your cardiologist today and see if a Camzyos moment may be in your future too.
Toyota has 3 NASCAR Cup teams. 2311 owned by these two, but this guy actually races for his team. And they both share the track with the team owned by this guy. 3 teams, 4 legends, all going after 1 cup. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series battles right here at Michigan before heading south of the border to Mexico City. Racing from Michigan starts at 2 Eastern on Prime. We're still under caution as track cleanup continues for the spin by Jack Wood. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll drop the green flag. As Carson Hocevar continues to lead over Corey Heim here at Michigan.
Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
My blood sugar is borderline. I can worry about it, or I can do something about it. The new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar formula works safely and naturally with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic.
Huge news. You can get a Son of for just $3. Wait, I said son of. Look at the words. Son of Baconator is $3. Thank you. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
Lanny?
Why are you screaming?
Because you're screaming.
Are you hiding from used car shopping?
Yeah. What if I overpaid?
I get it. Nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident, but that's nothing to be afraid of.
Show me, Carfax.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay.
Way better. Popcorn?
Definitely. No fear, just Fox. Say show me at Carfax.com.
The UFL Conference Championships.
It's time to start playing the best football this season.
4 teams remain in the hunt.
We didn't come this far just to come this far.
The UFL Conference Championships. Sunday on ABC and Fox.
The U.S. faces North America's best. Looking to prove they belong on the world's biggest stage. The road to 2026 starts now. The Gold Cup on Fox.
Echo Park Speedway is built for battles. High speeds, tight packs, dramatic finishes. It's a place for maximum fun, pure exhilaration, raw emotion, best experience with your crew. It's the same track you love, now under the lights, where every moment feels bigger. Experience the Quaker State 400, available at Walmart, Saturday, June 28th. Under the lights in Atlanta. Get your tickets now at EchoParkSpeedway.com.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Horse racing's greatest test returns as sovereignty and journalism face off in the 157th Belmont Stakes. Two of the season's biggest names and one race to settle it all. The coverage begins today, right here on Fox at 4 p.m. Looking forward to that. So much racing action on the network today. Hope you're enjoying it. Glad to have you with us. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith. We have Josh Sims and Caitlin Vinci on pit road. Okay, so there was a tweet that got people talking that came out this week.
It's on Big Fox.
From Dodge, and there's supposed to be a big announcement coming tomorrow.
How about that? You know what I'd like to announce? Cletus McFarland is going truck racing. He's going to zig and zag and fly like a bald eagle.
What do you think, Regan?
Well, certainly anything we can do to have more manufacturers in the sport would be great, and we'll have to see what they're getting at with their truck that they were showing there.
All right, going back green.
Hearing that tomorrow as we get set here. 49 laps.
Green flag.
This race, Carson Hocevar, Caden Honeycutt. So Heim opted to push Hocevar in front. Got teammates on the inside. Ross Chastain has entered the fray, guys.
Golly, this is tight.
Ross is up here.
Certainly is, and
caution.
Raja Karuth. Gosh, it's been a
Raja.
day for him.
Raja brings out the caution.
Had a tire issue.
It's unfortunate.
This one was off sequence.
Yeah, he's got a lot of damage. He'll be done for the day.
For that truck.
And that's the unfortunate part about restarts, right? Cautions can sometimes breed cautions, and we see up front how aggressive it's
There's about a 26-second green flag run.
Trying to get a truck out front, and it only gets worse. The further back in the pack you go, the more of that you get.
Remember the utter joy and excitement out of that team a week ago as Raja just drove a perfect 42 for that. Drove a perfect race. He said something about Matt Mills in the 42 had a part to do with what happened here. Let's hop on board with the Morgan Funes team. Oh.
You're right, Michael. I mentioned Matt Mills.
Yeah, I think that Raja tried to squeeze down a little bit. See if we can see another look. And that's a little late.
It appeared that they were going to end up 3 wide there, and I'm not sure that Matt necessarily knew that they were going to be 3 wide there, and Matt was on the outside. But as we look at this view again here, you'll see on the right side of the screen, Matt Mills, it appears there's room there, and he comes down just a little bit. And that's enough to upset Raj's truck right there, which then ultimately ended up in him trying to save it. And as he saved it, it went up and slapped the right rear and then followed it with the right front of the truck.
And you said it. When these restarts start happening over and over late in the going, you just try to take more chances and more chances. And sometimes you just don't get you don't have the room to try to do what you were attempting to do. That looked like a racing deal. I can't really pin that on Matt. You know, it just...
Certainly nothing egregious.
Closed up.
Yeah, it was 2 guys trying to go for the same spot, basically, and unfortunately for Raja, he got the worst end of that deal.
That was back in the battle for 20th. As you see them assessing the damage on Raja Caruth's truck.
And I think what we just saw there is also something that's going to be important as we look further into the race on these restarts, and as they continue to get crazier and crazier, it's going to be moves like that to where, you know, the spotters have to try and help predict when they're going to be 3 wide and what's actually coming, how the runs are coming, and it can get very difficult from different angles on the racetracks. Keep in mind the spotters are roughly at the start-finish line area. They've got an odd angle into turn 1 at Michigan to be able to see some of that, know exactly what the situation is, but it's also on the drivers too to be checking the mirrors and trying to understand exactly what they're dealing with cars or with the trucks that are around them. And Josh, I think you got something on the 45 for us.
Yeah, just an update on Caden Honeycutt and that fuel window when these guys are going to come in and pit. Just came over the radio and the team told him still about 8 laps away when that caution came out from that fuel window opening up. Similar sentiment for the 38 of Chandler Smith. So these guys are very aware of when this window opens up and asking for the information from their team so they know when.
Caden Honeycutt's running second.
Yeah, and that's good info from Josh right there, because we do know they can go roughly 38, maybe 39 green flag laps with these trucks, and not quite to that window where you would think they could make it work, as he just said right there. But who knows? Maybe there's going to be a gamble, or maybe somebody wants to try something.
Good word that NASCAR has closed the pits, so we'll... What would you do, Regan? Maybe take a chance if you don't have track position?
Well, it would appear, if we look at the guys on pit wall, that some guys are thinking they're going to take that chance. And you know, I think, Michael, the main thing you've got to figure is how many caution laps will we get, right? And how much can you save during those caution laps? We've just seen that one caution has immediately given us another caution. The issue is if it goes green flag, you know that you can't make it. And if you have to pit under green, then it's kind of pointless at that moment. To do that unless you can shorten up that final pit stop if you're willing to maybe not do tires.
We just saw Raja Caruth take that heartbreak of a left turn back into the garage, so his day is done. Well, tonight it's baseball night in America, right here on Fox. Another chapter in America's greatest rivalry unfolds as the Red Sox take on Aaron Judge.
And we will be live for that.
Or the Padres battle the Brewers. Check local listings for the game in your area. That's tonight, 7:30 Eastern on Fox. We got racing, then we got horse racing, then we've got baseball. A little bit of everything for you here.
It's a good Saturday afternoon, I'll tell you that. Pits are going to be open this time by. I think you're going to see a lot of people take advantage of that. We haven't seen a whole lot of lap time fall off, Regan. I think that's the key to some of these teams maybe thinking get these tires and get some gas and then see how the cautions fly after that. What do you think?
I think at this point you got to do what the trucks in front of you do, right? If the leaders do it, then evidently you've got to do that. If you're back around 10th, maybe you think about doing something different if you don't think you can find your way forward at some point.
Those trucks that have made their way to the front have just camped out there. Nobody's been able to mix up what's happening up front. Looks like we're going to have just what we thought, a mixed bag. Oh.
Just kidding. Here comes Daniel Hemrick.
Now all those trucks in the back will come. So the leaders stayed out. Everybody else
stayed out.
Make a run for it.
People in the back coming in.
Hemrick peeled off. It set the tone for what they were going to do. Josh?
Well, it's been an up and down day for the 38 of Chandler Smith. Battled his way into the top 10. Elected to come in now and get that.
Probably couldn't make it to the end.
We'll see if it helps him out the rest of the way.
Unless there's a lot of caution laps.
Several trucks doing just that. Fuel only. And what that'll do, Regan, is speed up that final pit stop. maybe if there's a lot of cautions, they can try to take a run at stretching it to the end.
Frankie Muniz having a decent day. Lane Riggs down and away. 45 to go as of now from Michigan. Stay with us. Green Flag Racing is next.
Whether Dad's vehicle is his prized possession or the family hauler, he needs to protect it. This Father's Day, give him the gift of WeatherTech. From laser-measured floor liners and cargo liner to keep his interior pristine, to seat protector to guard against stains, and sunshade to block harmful UV rays. The Cup phone perfectly secures his phone while driving. Order these American-made products or a gift card at WT.com. Happy Father's Day.
Hey, it's RV Harvey.
Guilty as charged. Weekend in the RV?
How was the lake?
RV. Catch any walleye? This is getting out of hand. All I ever wanted was to be the cool boss with an RV and fun Nick paint. Now I have to know what a walleye is.
Hey, all that matters is that you bundled your RV and boat with your home and auto insurance.
And got great savings and coverage. Sounds like an expert outdoorsman to me.
I kind of overdid it with the decor, didn't I?
Way overboard.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance. The attention, the celebrity, the bragging rights, the bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history, and the place where legends are made. This isn't just a race, it's a moment of truth. Their last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com. Saturday is Baseball Night in America on Fox. And the game's most iconic rivalry is ready for its next chapter.
No stage bigger than this one.
Rafael Devers leads the Red Sox against Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Baseball Night in America tonight at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
All right, get ready to go back green.
3 laps to go here. Carson Hocevar continues to lead.
It's going to be 43 to go when we go back green.
Just to collect the wins, but it's going to be hard to hold off Corey Heim, who will restart behind him in that 11 truck. And Caden Honeycutt, let's see what he can do on the front row. We've had a couple of cautions in a row. See if we can get some momentum.
Green flag.
Here. As the flag is back in the air. Watch these pushes from both lanes. All the way down into turn 1. Tyler Ankrum fans out, makes it 3 wide.
This is going to put Corey Heim back from the front row, which we haven't seen there in a long time.
That was a great move by Ross. Maybe caught him just a little bit off guard with that move. Ross, the previous restart, had started on the bottom, and look at how tight they're pushing down the back straightaway here.
See how the air affects these trucks. They are bouncing all around. Chastain washes up the track right in front of Corey Heim. He hangs on to
Hocevar,
Hocevar was not to be
the lead.
that lead. He was able just to squeeze.
That's Caden Honeycutt.
How about Andres Perez? You see him on the bottom there. The first truck on the bottom going to be put 3 wide by Tyler Ankrum, but a nice move forward for him right now.
Stalled out, and you saw Ankrum take advantage of that.
Here's Ross.
To squeeze.
Perez in that 77 truck you mentioned having a great day. The rookie in the Truck Series will be making his Xfinity debut next week in Mexico. Look at this battle. Ty Majeski to the inside. Trying to pick up the 3rd spot.
Corey Heim on the rebound. We saw him get around Ross Chastain, continuing to march back toward the front.
Caution is out again.
Caution.
Another 2 damaged race trucks. Morgan Baird, one of them. The 02, Nathan Bird, the other. Guys, we hear caution breeds cautions. I think we've had that. This is the 3rd time in a row.
some significant damage there, as we see to the 0-2 of Nathan.
So it's about a minute and a half green flag run.
Significant damage as well for the 2 of Morgan Baird. So
half
a truck
left. We talked about
a lot of fucking damage.
But with caution flag laps, I think we pit now. We're going to see a big mix-up in the lineup. This really, really helps Lane Riggs. He's got his fuel. He'll stay out. Let's see if we can look at the top of the screen, see the 2 trucks.
This was back here in 28th and 29th.
Near the back, looks like Baird gets loose and just they take each other out.
And almost seems similar to what happened to Jack Wood earlier in the race for Morgan Baird. There, just you get into those air situations where you don't exactly know how your truck's going to respond. Maybe you haven't been in that spot earlier in the day, and once it comes around at 185 miles an hour, it doesn't take a lot to get it upset, and it's just so difficult to catch it. And you can see at the top of the screen there, top right of the screen, the 0-2 of Nathan Bird making his contact with the wall after he got contact previously.
Well, we went 70 laps without a caution for incident. Now we've had 3 in a row.
And we're just continue to log caution lap after caution lap, really changing the strategy. I think we will see the leaders pit here.
And I'm with you, Michael. I think that it's
this will be right at the edge of their window.
That maybe we're going to have a little bit of a caution flag trend. Should be close enough when we go green to get your number where you need to be for those 38, 39 green flag laps. The challenge will be for these drivers at Michigan, difficult to save fuel, right? We talk about how much throttle time they are, how fast they're going around here. It's not like you're lifting and braking. Usually at a track where you lift and brake, you can utilize that to save fuel. And then from a driver's mindset, you lift earlier, you don't touch the brake pedal, you're coasting. Maybe you can do other things to help save that fuel. At Michigan, if you start doing too much of that, you'll lose positions. So fine line here, but I think that we're in that window now.
See if these teams are up on the wall trying to get prepared for a pit stop. Looks like we're going to see some takers. Sometimes they'll fake you out, though, won't they, Regan? They'll get up there and act like they're going to pit.
We have seen some of the best actors in all of sports on pit road right here, and I don't know that that's what we're going to see this time, but definitely worth keeping an eye on with these leaders when they get to turn 4.
Pit road is open, and the last go-around, Lane Riggs was one we talked about, worked his way up into the top 10. He had trouble on pit road again, something we saw last week at Nashville.
Work being done to the wall.
The damage to the wall. They're coming your way, Josh.
Let's get the 44 of Ross Chastain. That truck has been too tight all day long. Either way, it's going to be fuel only on this stop.
Well, Josh, Corey Heim in the middle of your screen said our truck just shut off like it did at Miami. He said, I don't know if it's a fuel pickup issue or what. So he said the dash did stay powered up on that 11. So they're going to try and see what that could potentially be. Then for the leader, Carson Hocevar, he didn't give any feedback yet on that truck. But so far, he's in a pretty good position potentially to get a 6th career win, guys.
Like we saw a lot of 4-tire stops there. Regan.
Corey Heim just now leaving his pit box. That caught my attention when Caitlin said they had that issue where it just shut off again, like in Miami, where...
That was wild, wasn't it?
It was. He had it won, right, Michael? And he hung on. This is wild.
They're working on someone on the wall here.
Damage.
See Daniel Hemrick and Chandler Smith on the left side of your screen, plus 10. Got to believe that was either 2 tires or even potentially gas only on those trucks. And Michael, you predicted it before these pit stops. It was going to mix the field up well. This is the most mixed up that we've seen it all day long, and is going to make this next restart even more intense than the previous.
We're going to find out how strong Corey Heim is and how tough it is for these drivers to make moves, because there's going to be a lot of trucks up toward the front that weren't there earlier.
And as you mentioned, trucks up to the front that weren't there. It's going to be guys that maybe you don't know how they're going to react with these moves when these moves come, and when these moves at the end of the straightaways are so big, the runs, and certainly something we'll have to keep an eye on.
So I was mentioning that Lane Riggs had issues on pit road last time he came down. Let's take a look at what happened. Michael Regan, very similar to what we saw last week.
It just looks like a shock issue, maybe, Regan, where the tire just doesn't fall out of the fender. And we knew he had a new truck last week, and the fact that they just didn't have the fenders where they needed to be, that caused a problem. And we know how fast he was last week. Watch here. Again, just a little bit of problem on the right front.
Yeah, very, looked like a very similar issue. This was the second stop last week at the end of stage 2, and maybe a little different here. This one, you see the jackman asking him to turn the wheel to the left. He's asking the driver to turn the wheel to the left so it can clearance the fenders, but I think what we just saw today was, as you said, Michael, more of a shock issue. The tire didn't drop out of the fender wall, and it took even a little bit longer in terms of getting that to fall down so the tire changer could get that off of there.
This running order is, we're going to see Corey Heim outside the top 15, fast trucks, guys that have been up there all day in the back. Gio Ruggiero, I'm going to look at that name, Regan, because he's been in the top 5, top 10 most all day, and he's made his way up inside the top 2. This kid's done a good job. We'll see how that plays out in the late going for him. And the thing, Regan, that makes this so crazy is we know just things are going to get more and more intense. And now we've got fast trucks in the back, guys that haven't been so fast up front. What a mix-up this is going to be.
Well, Ross Chastain, one of those that just pitted on lap 86 back in 18th. Let's get an update. But first, before we do that, Josh, we are going to bring him to a halt. The red flag will come out.
Red flag.
Repair work on that safer barrier ongoing. So, Josh, what are you hearing now on Ross Chastain?
Yeah, so on that last stop, the plan was originally, according to crew chief Wally Rogers, to just go with fuel only. But Ross, right before they came into pit, came over the radio and said he really wanted those 4 tires. I believe that could be the difference.
So the red flag is out here.
The driver wins out, so Ross
39 laps to go. And 38 laps to go at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan.
Rogers, I gotta imagine you're sitting on the pit box and your plan is to go fuel only when your driver is Ross Chastain, and we know the success that Ross has had at the Cup level, and of course winning the Coke 600 2 weeks ago. If your driver says
they're making repairs to that wall after
I
that
think
wreck.
you're going to listen at that moment. You're going to throw a little
That's
bit
the
of an
reason we
audible
are
there
under the
and
red flag.
Give him exactly what he wants to think that he needs to have to go to battle with at the end of this race.
Wally Rogers been around a long time. That guy sitting on the left side of the pit box. As the drivers sit their trucks on the track, work ongoing on the safer barrier. We'll step aside. 38 laps to go here at Michigan.
This is the quiz with Bo. Right answers win cash. Wrong answers will earn y'all splash.
I don't want to get wet.
Which of these landmarks were completed in the 20th century?
I don't even know what the 20th century is.
It's the most fun you'll have by the pool this summer.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Nobody knocks me down!
The Quiz with Balls, all new Mondays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
No one asks someone out in real life unless they live halfway around the world.
It's actually more than halfway around the world.
People say they like beginnings. It's really happening.
Why don't you like this you again? Riley, you are not dating this boy.
What if that space between beginnings and endings? What if it's actually the best part?
I need real, honest life. Isn't that what we're all waiting for?
Let's go. Fox Wednesdays. Oh my God. Gordon Ramsay is going deep undercover.
I've got this restaurant under surveillance. That is one fat rat. I've seen enough. I'm going in. This restaurant is closed.
Wait, what?
I can't help without you wanting to change. I have the 4.6 Google rating. There's rat droppings everywhere. Where's that on your 4.6 Google rating?
Gordon Ramsay's Secret Service. Wednesdays on Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
The road to 2026 starts now with the Gold Cup. The Stars and Stripes face North America's best, looking to prove they belong on the world's biggest stage. No easy path, no second chances. The Gold Cup on Fox.
Rafael Devers leads the Red Sox against Aaron Judge and the rival Yankees tonight at 7:30 Eastern on Fox.
Our next Truck Series race coming up at Pocono. That's Friday, 20th at 5 p.m. Eastern on FS1. What turn 4? It only has 3 turns. Look at that place. Sure is beautiful up there. Looking forward to that, but I know these truckers, this is the 6th and final race of back-to-back races. They're looking forward to having next weekend off, and then we'll kick things off at Pocono again.
Take a look at the tracks that we're going to close the regular season out with, Jamie, as we get looking ahead towards the playoffs. Very different racetracks, right? And we talk about guys earlier in the race that were below the cut line and what they need to do. Well, there's going to be a lot of opportunity, Michael, with these racetracks right here. Talk about Pocono that we just showed, a very unique and different racetrack. Drives different on all three corners. A road course, a short track, another road course. A lot of opportunity for somebody to jump up there that maybe is below that cut line and get a win if they need to.
This says truck racing to me right there. I love these trucks on the road course. They're so fun to watch. And short track racing is the way most of these kids all grew up.
And you see it there. The playoffs begin in Darlington after that. Just like that, guys. We're going to be kicking things off as they're continuing to fix this safer barrier, Regan.
Yeah, and what happens here, we saw how heavy the contact for Morgan Baird and Nathan Bird both was there. I'm not sure which truck it was exactly that caused this problem, but occasionally you can have a hole get poked in this safer barrier. Safer barrier is essentially metal, and then behind it, you'll see at the top of the shot there just a little bit that there's some styrofoam blocks, and that absorbs the impact as these trucks hit it. But once in a while, if they hit it just wrong, there is metal on these trucks as well, and sometimes that metal can poke a hole and tear a little hole in the wall. You don't want to leave that there, because if somebody else hits it, it becomes a bigger problem throughout the course of the race. So they're just slapping a little patch up on it right there as Michael's circling the safer barriers and everything else going on, and you see the welder in action right now. This is like every construction site across America. You just figure out how to fix it when you can.
There's the styrofoam you talked about, Regan, and there's a couple of guys that have hit concrete walls, which this is the concrete wall back here. NASCAR fixes the safer barrier to the concrete wall. That 2 feet of styrofoam, it's the reason why I think I'm still here today. It's just an amazing difference that the safety innovations NASCAR's made over all the years. We talk about the cars, we talk about the seats, the HANS devices. To me, that's number one right there, getting rid of those concrete walls. And these guys that are welding the fence back together so we get going racing, great job by them. Let's see if we can see the impact here that causes this mess. There they go into that outside wall, upwards of 180 miles an hour. That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, and certainly, you know, Michael, those are big impacts. And Jamie, you made note immediately after we saw the 2 truck that it's almost shrunk down in half right there. And you know, I've hit both types of walls before as well, Michael, and I am thankful for those safer barriers.
Well, Corey Heim, we've talked a lot about him. Today's won both stages, and he's back in 17th. Caitlin, you're with his crew chief. What are they thinking? Get the secrets.
Yeah, Jamie, well, we also heard Corey saying his truck shut off for a split second. What do you think could have contributed to that, and what is your level of concern?
Concern's a little high right at the moment. We still got 38 laps to go. Truck's fast. Corey's doing a great job. Level of concern, we're really not sure, but probably based off of things we've seen here in the past, the last half a dozen races or so, it's most likely a cam sensor. Hopefully it's not, and hopefully it was just some odd little gremlin that popped up and it worked its way out and went back to the Irish Hills, and we'll go on about our business.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck to you. Corey Heim, been one of the better trucks throughout the course of this race. Jamie?
Thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, you go back to race number 4 on this season when we heard this same thing happen to Corey. He managed to still finish 3rd, but Michael, that's just how good his truck was before this little part, inexpensive part, ruined their day.
Yeah, he's hoping that Gremlin makes an Irish goodbye into the Irish Hills. He doesn't have to worry about.
And I appreciate
Grant Enfinger's the current leader.
How upfront
As we sit here under a red flag with 38 laps to go.
A lot of times, guys will tell you, no, we're not concerned when they really are, but he's telling us exactly what he's thinking right now, and that it's not good. He's worried about it very much so.
Yeah, well, Josh, last week you were interviewing Raja Karuth, who was overjoyed with the win, and today you're with them out of the care center.
Jamie, the ups and downs of racing for Raja Karuth. So, Raja, what happened there, and also how you feeling?
Yeah, Josh, that was a bummer of a day. I mean, we had a flat tire to start the race and then spent all the first 2 stages trying to get back on the lead lap. There, just got on the lead lap, pushing the 33, and he's leaving a big gap, and I went to the middle, and I think the 42 just didn't know I was there or what, but just a bummer. I think our truck had good speed and showed it yesterday, and just didn't really get a chance to show it. So really bummed for all of my HendrickCars.com and Inspire Motorsports Chevy team. Thanks to Mr. H and Miss Linda. Just a bummer because I think our truck was really good. Just never got a chance to show it all day. Definitely a bummer for sure.
Tough break for Rajah Caruth in the 71, but helps to have that win last week, Jamie.
Absolutely. I guess that leads to, he always has a great attitude.
I was going to say, so humble and kind and gracious and thankful as the winner last week, and then equally as level-headed about unfortunate situation that took him out today. What a mature young man that I've really enjoyed getting to know over the years.
Look at this. Grew up as a NASCAR fan. Wanted to be a racer, so he starts iRacing.
See, gets his opportunity to, as part of the NASCAR Drive for Diversity program, and just continued his way up through the ranks, right? Rajah just has done such a nice job with the work effort that it takes.
Top 10 in his debut at St. Louis, and now here he is, third full season, two-time winner.
That was a statement win, too, at Nashville. We've talked all year and all day today about Corey Heim, how fast he is and how good he is. Same with Lane Riggs. He stood toe-to-toe with those guys and took them down and to win that guitar in Nashville.
Still working on it.
He was in 13th in points outside looking in. He gets the win. He punched his ticket. So now we have 5 drivers locked into the playoffs and 5 spots remaining.
These guys getting a chance to take a deep breath here and understand how intense these next 38 laps will be when we throw the green flag and get racing.
Well, it's been quite a season. 12 races in, we've had 8 different winners.
Corey Heim with 4 and Chandler Smith with 2. Corey Heim, you know, there's moments where we think that number could be 8, and certainly has been very close. And Tyler Ankrum, of course, had been a long streak for him before he got that win finally this year.
See the Cup drivers who've stopped on over. Kyle Busch getting the win in Atlanta. Larson, Miami, and Carson Hocevar, his last truck race was at Kansas. We're going to go back to back.
There's our playoff standings. As you see, Corey Heim's dominant season. He's put himself in such a great position as we race toward the playoffs. Those bonus points, he will keep those throughout the playoffs, and that'll help him progress from round to round if need be. But we haven't seen any reason to think speed won't be the reason why he gets from round to round. And then down around that orange line, you're above it, you're in. You're below it today, you're out. So we know how good Gio is today. Maybe he gets a win and changes the picture down there around the playoff line as well.
We remain under red here for repair on the safer barrier. They're making some good progress. Shouldn't be much longer. We'll get this race back underway.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. But when you've won it all 7 times, the trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner.
Right now, with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on the 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie. Plus, get $2,500 bonus cash on select models and dealer inventory.
The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor tracks your glucose in real time. And over time, it can help lower your A1C. This is progress. Learn more and try for free at freestylelibre.us.
The DQ Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket comes in your choice of honey barbecue or new buffalo. Layered with flavor from the top, bottom, and everywhere in between. Delicious from every angle. That's the Sauced and Tossed Chicken Strip Basket. Get yours now only at DQ.
I was a little caught off guard by this partnership. Frankie's a big star, but he really does seem to get in the middle of things. Calls.
Of course we're going to be able to take this case.
Danny!
Hey, not right now, man.
Meetings. This year has started off everything, really.
Can I squeeze in the middle here?
But really, super stoked to have him here.
Morgan and Morgan and Unit.
So still sitting under the red flag here.
Applebee's all you can eat is
Under the red flag for about like 12 minutes, 13 minutes.
Always love. Plus double crunch shrimp and riblets. All
all served unlimited for just $15.99. Only at Applebee's.
My blood sugar is borderline. I can worry about it, or I can do something about it. New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula works safely and naturally with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip, and Regan Smith with you. Under a red caution, or caution was out, led to the red because of the repair on the safer barrier, but that is underway and hopefully not too much longer. Well, we've talked about a few of the guys that usually run in the Cup Series. Corey's part-time in the Cup Series now, but now he just announced he'll be with us in the Truck Series for 9 of our final 13 races.
Damn.
And a healthy schedule, too, right? Great racetracks. I'm glad Corey's getting to do this, and he's going to learn, Regan. He already knows this, but he's going to even be more assured of how good these truck racers are. I mean, you go up against Corey Heim, Lane Riggs, these guys week in, week out, you really respect and appreciate what they can do behind the wheel.
And I love when you get to the bottom part of that schedule, starting with Darlington, the consistency that he's going to be in the truck, right? Running the majority of the final races of the season. That gives you an opportunity for him to work with his crew chief, Alan Hart, on a regular basis and learn each other what they're saying, what Corey's going to need out of that truck. We know Corey LaJoie is very talented and that he's got the ability to get the job done, and that consistency, I think, should potentially pay off with some wins on the second part of the schedule for that 07.
Well, I think after what happened to him in the Cup race here last year, he's got a love-hate relationship with this place. Here it is.
This is a big one. He just gets turned sideways on the back straightaway and just like a piece of paper flopping over, isn't it?
And just so surprising, right? That's not something we always see at Michigan, is a car getting upside down that easily, and just a perfect situation when they came off the corner and he got turned sideways there as he was trying to make the pass on Harrison Burton, and that little bit of contact, just that shows you how dangerous what these race car drivers are doing is, right? It can be any moment when you least expected something could go wrong, and that's why I got so much respect for any of these drivers out there that put the helmet on and what they do. And it's not just in the NASCAR series, it's IndyCar, it's all the series across
Still
the world.
working on it.
It is definitely something that
how much longer this is going to take.
It's not only a challenge, but it's not safe, right? Let's be honest with what it is. It's not safe, and they make it look easy.
Well, Grant Enfinger in that 9 truck out front right now as we sit here under the red flag condition. Let's hear from his crew chief, Josh.
Well, yeah, Jeff Stankiewicz, you got your driver out front with some track position, just topped off during that last run. So do you have enough fuel to make it to the end? And how has that truck been today?
Yeah, we really don't have enough right now. We're probably about a lap and a half short with the numbers we've been getting all day, but we've also been in dirty air, not running wide open like the guys up front have. But we've just been stuck in dirty air all day. The truck has not been driving very good in dirty air. He says it is pretty good when we do get a little clean air on it, but overall we've just not been very happy. And we felt like if we pitted with everybody else, we were not going to march our way to the front, so we just felt like we had nothing to lose to try this, get out in clean air, see how the truck drives, and if we get another caution, we know we're comfortably safe to make it. So it was just a chance we're going to take. We just felt like we were just stuck in 15th all day and weren't moving forward.
And we talked about this yesterday. Is this a product of having a good stretch of points races where you can take a gamble like this?
Yeah, we can. I mean, right now, knock on wood, we're good in points. We didn't get any stage points today, unfortunately. So right now, we're just trying everything we can to get the end result points for us. But we still feel comfortable on the points. But we feel a little better about taking a chance right now than we normally would.
Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way, Jeff.
That's what crew chiefs do these days, Regan. No, we don't have enough gas right now. But when the cautions come out and we think they will, then we will have enough gas. So that's just the way you play the game. And I talked to Grant this morning. He was very comfortable with this truck, as Jeff was just saying, out front. But in traffic, I think he thought it was a bit of a mess. And now they've made a play to try to stay up front. Now, can the fast guys, can the Corey Himes, Ross Chastain, Caden Honeycutt, can they fight their way through this pack before this race ends?
Yeah, and I'm curious, right? You get your driver some clean air, as Jeff Stankiewicz did right there.
They might end up moving this race over to FS1.
Able to get a good read on his truck, understand what it's doing, and can he save as much fuel up there? No, but we've seen these cautions are coming pretty rapidly right now, so certainly not a bad call to try something different, to try and get your first win of the season. We know that number 9 team
it's been 18 minutes so far under the red flag.
And Grant Enfinger certainly knows how to win, so put it in your driver's hands. Let him go out there and get the job done.
Michael, we've been talking about Hocevar quite a bit today. Job well done. He's led the most laps. Let's dial him up.
See if we can get a word. Carson Hocevar is Michael Waltrip and the Fox team. Do you copy?
Yeah, I got you.
First of all, congratulations on the big win in Berlin. Now you're going for the double today, the triple tomorrow. It's been a great race to watch from the TV side. How's it feel inside of that truck, and can you fight your way back to the front?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so, for sure. We're going to give it a really good shot to drive to the field. I've been spoiled up here, being able to qualify up front, run up front. Yeah, this Delaware Life Single Auto Group Silverado has been really fast, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've never drove a truck here, and these are a lot of fun. So I'm glad they did the swatch and made the trucks here. And we're looking good to try to go at least 2 for 2, and then hopefully go tomorrow. But you know, we got a lot more trucks in front of us now.
Yep, Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers
Keep digging.
officially.
It's been fun to watch. Appreciate your time.
Sounds good. Thanks, buddy.
So Hocevar back in 17th. You mentioned the win earlier this week in Berlin, Michael.
Yeah, this is his home stomping grounds, and man, he had a strong truck, strong car, and he has a strong truck today, but that's money in the bank right there, Regan.
And you can see the smile on his face, right? Loves going back to Berlin and running, and what a
back
fun
to yellow
racetrack in Berlin. They've done a really nice job with that facility up there, and very often it's a packed house on
So
the
that was
shows, and
about a 20-minute red flag there.
grassroots like that.
With 38 laps to go, about a 20-minute red flag. And the engines are refired. And they're getting back rolling. So, yeah, I'm assuming we'll probably go back to green with about 35 laps to go.
All right, so
And,
if we
yeah.
have it all right, 1st through 7th stayed out that last round of stops. 8th through 16th took fuel only. 17th, Corey Heim, the first on 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, so we've got a lot to think about here right now, right? 1st through 7th, they are on older tires now, given it's only a few lap older tires than what the guys behind them potentially are on right now. But they're all gambling. They're all saying, we want to take a chance on fuel, and we want to see if we can get to the end if we're going to get the cautions. Michael, when you get to the guys and girls in 7th through 16th, though, a little bit different situation. Fuel only, old tires for them.
I have to pee.
For a horse race, you know how they line up 8 wide to go when they open the gates, they're on their way? You're getting ready to see a mess, just like you're going to see at the horse races, because our first 7 trucks haven't been that fast all day. And now there's trucks with fresher tires, and there's trucks with new tires that all are going to be just bearing down on these other guys. Man, we're going to see a lot of action. I just hope they keep them straight.
How about Tony Breidinger? In 7th right now, she opted to stay out. New sponsor on board, Coach, a luxury brand. She brings new eyeballs and new sponsorship, so a new look for them. The primary here and at Talladega. So the question is, Michael, how long can she and those around her hang on?
Well, they'll do their best, but it's going to be short-lived to remain in that position. You're just trying to, I think, Regan, if you're one of those top 7 that stayed out, maybe, I mean, take Grant Enfinger and Gio aside, you're just trying to survive. You're just trying to make sure you get all you can on this restart and don't get wrecked. That was weird.
And I think there's one more, Michael, that I would add to that list. Matt Crafton, we know that he qualified 3rd earlier today. So we know that 88 truck has had some speed at different points. Has not shown it in the race, but if they've had the opportunity to work on that as the race has gone on, he may be able to stay up there. The rest of them, it will be a challenge, right? But it is also, that challenge presents an opportunity for these drivers, you know, like Matt Mills or Jake Garcia. We know that Jake's been quick at different times this year, but now it presents an opportunity to maybe play a little bit of defense early on in this run. And if you end up even 1 or 2 spots better than where you were at the point when these other trucks pitted and the caution came out, then it plays out good for you. In certain situations, as you get 3 or 4 wide, it may be an opportunity to just try and keep the wheels straight and not get in trouble also.
Well, what is Ross Chastain thinking? He's back in 18th.
All right, getting the 1 to go.
I don't know how you race car drivers do that.
I want to tell you though, Jamie, he's flipped the switch now. He's wide awake because
Been almost a half hour since we were last
Chastain
green.
knows how crazy this restart is going to be. I don't think we've seen our last caution today, kids.
And interesting.
Oh, definitely.
Choosing to come down pit road. We saw him top it off, but we also see him right now working on the right front tire. And what they're doing is they are clearancing that fender. And I don't believe we've seen him have any contact today, but
maybe
there's something they're concerned about, and that tool they're using, Michael, that's used to get the fender away from the tire a little bit.
And maybe they saw some rub or some wear on the Goodyear Eagle that they took off of that truck last stop and decided they better make a bit of an adjustment. And he's not going to lose much ground from where he was. And like I said, this is going to, just mark my words, it's going to look as crazy as you've ever seen when they throw the green here in a second.
All right, getting ready to finally go back green. After about the 20-minute red flag, been about a half hour since we were last green. It's going to be 35 to go. And it's going to be, if it stays green, it's going to be a fuel mileage race.
Is it his time? He decided to line up behind Grant
Enfinger and Gio Ruggiero on the front row. Matt Crafton, Matt Mills, Jake Garcia, Stuart Friesen, Cody Breidinger, Daniel Hamrick, and then Zane Smith and Perez. Top 10. Back green.
3-4 wide behind him.
Nice start on that outside lane for Gio. Going to get the better of Crafton. Matt's going to try to blend up in line. There's Stuart Friesen in the 52 truck, that blue one. He's going to roll up to fourth. And look at that pack behind them.
Chandler Smith on the inside there looking for some help in the 38 truck. Here comes Connor Bozak in the 81. Been so quick and he gets blocked.
The runs are as they got headed into turn 3 and
Oh!
Tyler Ankrum into the wall.
Tyler Ankrum in the wall, no caution.
Ty Majeski was right there in the 98.
Gets back going.
That's the risk that you run, right? When you get further back in the pack like that. 3 trucks that we thought were capable of maybe winning the race if things went their way. One of them has damage now, the other 2 losing all their track position.
Grant Enfinger said, when my truck's out front, it runs pretty good. Well, look at that thing. He's stretching them out really nicely.
It's the first time really today, Michael, that he's had that clean air.
So yeah, Ross, the guy that I want to win, is in 10th. And then Carson Hocevar, my win pick, is in 16th.
That opens up the door for Lane Riggs to come low. A lot of contact around this racetrack, Regan.
Was there to go up, but he did go up and he made the room to go up, and it resulted in a nice run. Not making big moves as well.
Chastain into 9th, 8th.
The inside of Lane Riggs. That's for 12th for Corey Heim.
This guy's wild. You see the bright orange truck on the left side of our screen. He's going to get clipped here by the 81. Was that?
But Connor Mozak just got a little bit sideways on him, yeah.
And a hell of a drive of that 18 truck, keeping him from crashing. I mean, that's just as good as you can do, considering what position he got put into. The 81 of Mozak loose, hits Ankrum, heads up driving there by Caden Honeycutt too, just to let Ankrum slide up and not go into the wall with him.
And certainly Ankrum is not going to like his truck the rest of the day with that damage to the right side. These trucks very sensitive with that right side of the truck, but could have been much worse.
There's Carson Hocevar, who we showed just moments ago, is on pit road, clearing that right front, and he gets side by side and around Corey Heim.
Matt Mills lost his pace up front, and that gave a window for Carson Hocevar to slide in up top.
And this is really playing out nicely for Carson Hocevar. We see a big block by Chandler Smith right there as Carson tried to go to the bottom. Carson's so strong, though, he's going to be able to maybe get this run to the outside, not quite, to be able to try and complete that pass.
Ross Chastain, the left side of your screen, he restarted 19th on those new tires. Look at him go.
Told his crew chief, Wally Rogers, that he wanted those tires, Michael. He made the decision in the seat and worked out pretty well for him so far. Josh?
Well, tire went down for the 45 of Caden Honeycutt, having a really good run today. That's a tough break for him. Straight top 10s, but that can now be in jeopardy, Jaden.
He was a part of that fast set down in turn 3 and 4 with Tyler slightly, but we saw how tight those clearances are on those right side tires and caused him to have to make a pit stop.
Daniel Hemrick, strong run right behind Ross Chastain. You see the biggest mover since lap 91 on the restart. Hocevar up 16 spots. Chastain up 12. Tanner Gray having a quiet but solid day.
You got to give a shout out to Enfinger, Jarrow, Tanner Gray, those guys all that started up front. They were able to make the break, get away from the big heavy pack of traffic, and now have themselves in a good position as we race down inside 30 to go.
And certainly mission accomplished, right? You just wanted to hold serve as long as you possibly could. Try to make these guys with 4 fresh tires, as you see a nice move to the outside by Lane Ridge. Try to make the guys with 4 fresh tires wear their stuff out getting to you, and then that can give you the opportunity to hold them off as more 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Picks up a twofer.
That was a nice move. Grant Enfinger continues. You know, when the leader has been up front, is generally we've seen tandem racing, 2 guys tight, bumper to bumper, but not now. Enfinger's pulled away.
Ross Chastain has the clock in the ticker. That means he has turned the fastest lap of the day officially. Grant Enfinger continues to lead Gio Ruggiero. 28 laps to go for Michigan.
To tell you the truth, we could take or leave the extravagance.
Yeah, it is kind of ironic.
The attention. The
But not really that surprising.
The bragging rights. The bravado. Because all we've ever really wanted is for every Ford driver to feel this.
What you want to do is save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance.
That's great, but can you ask your friend to stop digging into the green?
I can ask, but he's not going to. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty. Applebee's All You Can Eat is back, featuring the chicken tenders you've always loved. Now served unlimited with 8 sauces to choose from for just $15.99. Plus endless riblets and double crunch shrimp, only at Applebee's.
Turn your outdated and dysfunctional kitchen into your favorite room in your home. Designing your new kitchen or bath is easy at Kitchen Express. Our design team will help you select the right style and color cabinetry, countertops, appliances, and more for a kitchen as functional as it is beautiful. Receive 3D drawings of your new space and an estimate for your selections. From traditional to contemporary, kitchens big and small. Create a smart and stylish space at Kitchen Express. Stop in to see our cabinetry.
If you think high energy bills are just a winter problem, think again. Your AC runs on electricity, and in the summer, those costs skyrocket. The problem is poor insulation that lets the heat pour in, forcing your AC to work overtime. Zero Draft spray foam insulation blocks the heat, keeping your home cool and cutting your energy bill. So stay comfortable for less. Call Zero Draft to seal those gaps, cracks, and holes.
You're the ones to call. Her name says it all. Zero Draft.
Who has the right of way? Driver has the green light, but the pedestrian has the walk signal. Foul on the driver. Pedestrians have the right of way. See and be seen.
For a limited time, get a large OIP cheese pizza and 10 of our famous char-grilled wings. Always cooked to order for just $25.99. That's a smoking hot deal. Call or order online at myoip.com. OIP, flame smoking good.
Horse racing's greatest test returns as Sovereignty and journalism face off in the 157th Belmont Stakes. Two of the season's biggest names in just one race to settle it all. It's coming up today at 4 Eastern, live on Fox. Racing of a different kind. And right now, currently airing over on FS1 is the Belmont Stakes Festival. But you don't want to change the channel just yet. We got to settle this one over here first. 23 laps to go.
That 7 truck, Jamie, we've seen him up front all day long. Last couple of laps, fastest guy on the track, and he's closed in on the top 10. And that just feels so good, doesn't it, Regan? He can look up there and see the leaders. He knows the progress he's made. He likes that 7 truck right now. That's Carson Hocevar.
It feels good, but what he's also thinking right now, Michael, 23 laps to go, coming to 22 to go. How am I going to get past all these trucks in front of me? Right?
Ross is
Still
in
got 8
fourth.
trucks to pass if I want to get back up to the lead.
I think
Some of which are
Ross is
very
going to
good
win
trucks.
this.
You got somebody like a Lane Riggs in third, who has really been coming on strong, and Ross Chastain, we've seen him at the front of the pack. Corey Heim up there as well.
Hocevar's in 8th, 9th, 8th.
He took tires on
9th, I don't know what the fuck it is.
79,
8th or
so just
9th.
1 lap older tires than the 44 of Ross Chastain.
And this is something I've been interested in. Gio Ruggiero has not been able to push Grant Enfinger. We've seen tandem racing at the front with Heim and Hocevar. The 17 couldn't quite get to the 9. We know how strong Lane is. He's made his way through the field. Let's see if he can get up there and just give the 9 a push, or maybe take the lead from him. As you see Corey Heim, you better go take the lead, Lane Riggs, because company is coming. Corey's pushing Ross Chastain. There goes Ross around the outside.
Like that move by Ross to be able to get yourself to the outside, not be on the bottom. So if you don't complete the pass, you don't have to worry about maybe 2 trucks passing you to the outside instead. So Ross Chastain showing, you know, a lot of pros right there to calculate that move out.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our Craftsman 20 to go. Grant Enfinger stays out on that last round of stops. He continues to lead here. Lane Riggs closing quickly, though. Tries to take a peek into turn 1.
Lane got there.
Wonder when Dodge will make it to Xfinity Series? Yeah.
Great driving by Grant Enfinger, taking control of this race late. I think he's setting up though, Regan.
Jack Mayhoff? Who the fuck is that?
You've got a couple concerns for the 9 truck at Grant Enfinger right now. You've got older tires than the competitors around him right now and on the truck, comparatively speaking. You've also got some possible fuel concerns, right? We heard his crew chief for the red flag, Jeff Stankiewicz, mentioned to us that they were a lap and a half or 2 laps short. Wasn't exactly sure where they were, and that they were going to have to burn more fuel as well being out front. So a number of things for them to be thinking about with the 9 truck.
That 11 truck, the red truck in 5th, he keeps giving people pushes, and they take advantage of his pushes, but he can't take advantage of them. He's not been able to put himself in the right position as of yet, but he's still got a lot of turns left to be able to get that done.
Yeah, he helped out his buddy Gio Ruggiero, his teammate.
Here you see Ross Chastain gets down on the inside of Gio, off the corner. What will this do for Corey Heim?
So yeah, there was that 20-minute red flag delay earlier
Ruggiero, so the 2 of them can try to get around Ross
with 38 to go
Chastain
for the repair of the wall.
Corey Heim in the 11, both on newer
Finally
tires.
got back
Gio's
going.
been strong all day, and he's doing a great job right now. The rookie has been really impressive all season
Yeah, it's a
long.
great
Picked
race
up
here.
Second place in the Daytona race, and now look at him go.
The 20-year-old from Seekonk, Massachusetts.
And I love
I don't
what
know.
he's done, right? Put
I
yourself
don't
in
know what
position
Mikey
to
said.
learn how to calculate what's going on at the front of the pack. And we've seen him do that for a number of weeks this year, and continues to. And
I think
now he's going to have to
I
figure out how to calculate.
saw something about that. I think I saw Eric tweeting about
At
it.
different points in this race. The other thing that we got to look at, catching up to Corey Heim, is now Carson Hocevar. We've seen how calculated the 2 of them were when they were at the front of the pack earlier in the race, being able to choose when and where to
Yeah,
pass.
no, he
Now that
did.
they're together like they've done on restarts earlier on, will they be able to maybe work together?
I wasn't really paying attention when that happened, but
Party of 5.
apparently he did.
Party of 6. Party of 6. That's what this lead pack is all about.
I'm just impressed with Grant Enfinger. You know, all day we've been talking about him not being happy with the handling of the race trucks, so they get a shot out front, and look at him. He's holding them all off.
And that's the beauty of what we call clean air, right? And that clean air is, we might be speaking too soon here. Lane
set it up
great run, and here's the problem. If Lane can't complete this pass, which he's not going to be able to watch turn 2, watch what happens.
Lane Riggs and Grant Enfinger. Here comes Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain gets his way into second. Here he comes for the lead. He has the freshest tires in this battle.
Look at that.
Grant Enfinger.
Look how close they are.
Been untouched since the restart. Here comes Ross. Definitely touching him.
He wants those pushes, but he wants them
Probably touching his penis. And he gets the lead. So Ross Chastain grabs Grant Enfinger's penis and takes the lead. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Here they go. They're still grabbing each other's penis. Oh, shit. Here comes Lane Riggs grabbing their penis. Oh, my God. A lot of penis grabbing here.
Really tight coming off right here. So Ross wants to keep on the outside of lane, which he's been able to do so far. What they're going to have to watch out for now is
Battle here for the lead. Oh my God, here comes 3 wide.
That's exactly what you got to watch out for. Corey Heim,
Grant Enfinger back to the lead.
Maybe going to get a chance to get a spot here.
Well, what about Grant? He made the big move and made it work. Back to the lead for the 9 truck.
And that is a veteran right there, Michael, right? Grant Enfinger, we've seen him in position at Michigan before to possibly win races, putting himself...
Dude, there is so many penises being grabbed right now.
That's the fight that we're going to see here now for the next 14 laps, is trying to fight to be in control when it gets down to the last lap.
And squeezing into little bitty holes like that right there, all the way to the checkpost. That made me nervous.
Contact at 185 miles an hour. They're bouncing around all over the place. Let's listen to our leaders radio.
Yeah, he's talking about gas. Jeff said, could you save me some gas? And Grant said, no, I cannot save you any gas right now.
And that was my concern when we were on the break earlier, on the red flag earlier, was how do you save as we see a... Look at Hocevar maybe going to go 2 for 1 here.
On the march.
And this will open up the door for Heim. Watch this big run from the red truck back there. There it is.
And the big push Ross Chastain gives to Grant Enfinger.
Here comes Corey Heim. Ross Chastain and Grant Enfinger for the lead. Ross Chastain has it.
Back and forth, and just we're seeing haymakers thrown right here, right? In terms of this, Lane Riggs into the wall a little bit, and they will have to be careful. These trucks, we've seen everybody that's gotten into the wall have right side trouble with tires, so he's going to have to keep an eye on this.
New leader. Look at Hocevar.
I'm not in that shot. Hold on, let me change that.
Just looking for any area he can find on the straightaway, right down drafting off at 5.
Tony Breidinger put her a lap down, swapping all over at the front.
These guys got to have a lot of trust in one another, and that trust will run out. There it is, right there.
Oh! Ross! Oh my God, he saved it, but he loses many positions. Wow.
To the lead. There was so much going on.
That was crazy. Hocevar to the lead.
I don't know that I've seen one that sideways in a long time and save it. And great job by Ross Chastain. Of course, Carson Hocevar now gaps the field, right? Gets a little bit of a lead. But let's remind you, as we take a look.
Why is he shaking it?
Oh, yeah. He's shaking a bit.
I bet he was wondering if there's damage enough there to cause a flat. We see the Goodyear is rubbed off that Eagle.
So Hocevar, there's a tire on the backstretch. That will bring out a caution. No, that will bring out a caution.
Tire carcass.
It's literally sitting, there you go.
There it is.
And the caution is out. Lane Riggs is on pit road.
You called it real.
So much here over the past 5-6 laps.
Yeah, that was crazy right there.
Break, didn't we? We gotta size this thing back up and see who's gonna do what.
And that trouble for Lane Riggs side, if we go back to that and we see the tire on the racetrack, that was a result of the contact he made off of turn 2 into the wall. And these trucks are metal bodies, very easy to get a fender knocked in onto the tire, in which case it cuts it down. So that was the result.
This is what caused this problem for Lane Riggs. He just gets too wide off turn 2. So easy to do. You see the tire mark there. Someone had done it before him. Just that little kiss is all.
So that was a little bit under a 17-minute green flag run, about a 16.5-minute green flag run.
Taking some of the air off of him, and just classic Michigan, right? That's racing at Michigan.
This is amazing truck control right here. And you see the reason why Hocevar is concerned about that left rear right there. But watch what Ross Chastain does. He's got his foot wide open, Regan.
Foot wide open. He's steering back to the right. He's waiting for that truck to catch. And you see the tire marks at left as it caught right there. He's waiting for it to catch and come back over to the left rear of the truck. And when that happens, you've got to be steering back to the right before that happens in order to keep it straight. And by the way, Ross is doing all this at 185 miles an hour. I know that was hits the replay slow motion. That was 185 miles an hour. Incredible save by him.
Amazing.
They were both sideways going for the lead of this race, and tremendous saves by both, especially that man right there in the 44.
I'm worried about this 7 truck's left rear. I wonder, let's see if we can pick up some radio transaction.
Left your tire, obviously the good rubs off. I mean, you want to go for the win, or you want to finish 15th? We're gonna win. I think come here otherwise.
A little bit over a 17-minute green flag run.
They're concerned about you can see the left rear tire is black. It used to have yellow letters on it. It's not that way anymore. Pretty significant contact from
A little over a 17-minute. I think I incorrectly said the length of it earlier.
So what's the communication for the drivers behind him now? They hear that, they know that's an issue to be heads up?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be aware. And they're gonna be aware that he's got a little bit of issue with the left rear. The communication actually might be is, hey, will you pull up there and take a look at my left rear tire and let me know if everything looks clearanced. It's very difficult when you're not up to speed to tell that, but I like the attitude of Carson Hocevar right there to say, hey, we're not here to finish 15th, right? I'm not running for points. We're here to win the race. Let's take our chance, see what happens, and I think that's really the only play in that situation for that team.
And if you ask me to pull up there and tell me if I should pit or not, I'm going to say pit. I think you better go to pit road and check on your tire.
And I think their decision's being made for him, as we see with that great camera work right there. That left rear looked like it was flat, so we should see Carson Hocevar headed to pit road here in a moment.
There it is. Great work by our Fox team to get these beautiful shots and cover all this action that we've had plenty as well.
We certainly have.
Jamie, ever since you said it's the Craftsman 20 to go, things have just gone crazy.
They really have.
They must have heard you.
6 cautions today for 31 laps. Pit road will be open. Josh.
Let's start with the 9 of Grant Enfinger. We heard from his crew chief, Jeff Stankiewicz. They tried to gamble, but ultimately he told me the tires were gone by the end of that run and they need to get fuel if they want to make it to the end. So he comes in to pit.
Yeah, Josh, Carson Hocevar been so strong throughout the course of this race. They kind of went back and forth on what to do. They said, you want to win or you want to finish 15th? But ultimately they elected to pit because of that tire, guys.
Yeah, tough break for Carson Hocevar. You told him we're going to win, but he just didn't feel like that tire was going to hold up.
So now the conversation as they get ready to come back to green on Carson's radio is going to be, all right, we're still going to win. We're just going to have to do it from way in the back. And that's how quick a race car driver has to forget about things, right? Carson knows, okay, I can't change what's happened right here. I'm going to focus forward on figuring out how to get back to the front. It's going to be difficult, but we've seen Carson do some pretty spectacular things before in a truck.
Well, you know, our director, Darren Foster, he's going to keep an eye on that 7 truck. Keep a camera on him. Let's watch as these laps wind
So I think it's going to be 5 to go when they go back green.
This is a chance for Corey Heim to see how this choose situation, when we get ready to make the restart, who goes where, which can help dictate his decision. I think he will go behind his teammate. What do you think, Regan? Maybe both those trucks choose the top side? We've seen it before from our leaders.
You know, you got team trucks there, Michael, right? And I think we've seen that throughout the course of the day right now. I'd have a little bit of thought process if I'm Corey Heim, though. I understand that it's my teammate there. But if I think I can get to the bottom and perhaps have Ross Chastain back there pushing me, I may take that opportunity as well, because if not, let's say Ross Chastain gets a great restart, he clears him for the lead. Now you've lost that control and the ability to maybe make some of the blocks that you need to do. So be an interesting decision right here, as you just mentioned.
Ross has been really, really strong on the short runs as we see the leaders.
All right, so lights are off on the pace car. They're getting to choose. Going to go back green with 5 laps to go here at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan.
Which is a teammate to the 2 on the outside.
And something else just to keep an eye on here as we get down to these closing laps of the race, as we're going to take the green with 5 to go. Gio Ruggiero, who will be the leader, he had actually pitted on the same lap, which was lap 8.
Longest truck stream, I think, all year.
Pit under this caution because they did not feel like they were going to be able to make it. Partially also because they had such old tires. So,
with the exception of the Atlanta stream, that was a doubleheader.
Seen a few very thrilling last lap.
That was like 6 hours. It was a doubleheader stream.
That was crazy. There's Stuart Friesen just loses to Kyle Busch by that much.
Kyle Busch put on a clinic there.
What about Texas? Corey Haim, drive of the year to that point. Amazing finish.
What about North Wilkesboro?
Well, the gloves came off there, Jamie.
Full contact. Corey Haim goes around. Chandler Smith rolls into victory lane for the second time this season.
You haven't watched much.
All right, getting ready to go back green.
Racing, ladies and gentlemen, watch this restart. The pushes. The guys that are on the front row want these pushes desperately. They need them if they're going to win. But they're liable to go overboard with the push and cause issues.
We've seen trucks all day long, Michael, dancing around, tough to hold on to, and it's not because they want that to happen. It's because the truck behind them's making it happen.
Here we go. It'll be 5 to go at the
Going to be
line.
5 laps to go at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan in the truck race. Green flag.
It's already begun.
Oh, trouble! Ross Chastain goes around. Oh my God. Wow. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. What a fucking disaster. So that was about a 7-second green flag run there.
Not sure if Ross Chastain, got pushed.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. And now fuel mileage is definitely an issue for everyone.
Once it jams up that front row, it just continues all the way back through the pack, and you see damage to the number of trucks that we're going to see.
Great shot to win with a lot of damage.
What a fucking ridiculous.
Who we said we're still going to win. Well, his chances just got better because a lot of trucks ahead of him are damaged. There's Carson Ozavar.
Sucks that Ross and Carson are in that wreck.
There's going to be a lot of trucks have to go to pit road. This is a mess.
The fuck happened? Everyone fucking wrecked on the restart. Not everyone, but
there's the restart line. You can start in that box, and
Ross wrecked and he was in first. So the push went bad, and then the 17 got out a little bit out of control. Got the 44 around and the 15 around. The 19 went around 81. 11 got some damage. The Jack Wood went around. The 98 went around. The 15 went around. 54 had to avoid. Then the 38 went in the grass.
What it looks like. It looks like they just win.
Both trucks were getting pushed from behind, and I gotta believe
what a
that they
fucking
were having
disaster.
trouble hooking up the rear tires to get going forward. If those pushes come too soon, what happens is you spin the rear tires and you can't go anywhere, and you start dancing around as we saw. And it almost appeared that both lanes had that happen just about at the same time.
That's exactly what happened. The second row thought the front row would go sooner, and they both turned around the front two guys. And Ross survived his spin until he got hit the second time, and it was over.
And you might watch that at home and say, well, why didn't Gio Ruggiero just go, right? Why didn't he go? Why was he waiting so long? As the leader of the race, you see the white stripes on the track there. He's got a restart zone. And just
I'm going to take a nap after this race.
Through the pack. And the number 7, as you guys have mentioned, Carson Hocevar making it through there. But going back to the restart zone, Gio is the leader of the race. He's got the option to choose where he wants to go right there. And he can wait all the way until that last white stripe before he goes if he wants to.
Yeah, that was just the second row, just where they know they had to be aggressive. We talked about how aggressive it was going to be. And they went to the back bumpers of the leaders on the front row, and it was just more than they could handle. When you hit that back end, it lifts those tires up a bit. As we watch the Morgan cam go through this mess, see how Frankie does. He sees the problems. Everything's going all right. And we're going to survive this one there, guys.
Some nice,
just
nice
navigating the infield's grass. It's been a decent day for Frankie Muniz, having the best run we've seen, Michael and Regan, since Daytona.
Stayed on the lead lap all day long. along inside the top 20.
A lot to figure out here, guys. Now there's a lot of names suddenly that we're going to be talking about that are going to be in contention for the win. That was one of the wildest restarts I've seen. Look at Corey Heim and the damage.
Another day that what could have been for Corey Heim, had that electrical gremlin, and then got in that big crash here at the end.
Corey, like 29 laps today.
There's some colorful grass that they drug to the pit road.
Front of Corey Heim's pit stall right there. Clearly, as he went through the grass, and any of these trucks that went through the grass, probably a concern for him, right? Going to have to come in and that grass gets jammed up into the grill screens, and you got to get all that out of there, otherwise the engines will overheat. And
a lot of work for the grounds crew tonight. Let's listen to Corey Heim's radio.
Well, message is not clearly delivered. I mean, the kid slowed down going into the restart zone and then never sped up. I mean, we got to work on that shit, dude.
That's exactly what we saw, Regan. Just the two leaders decided not to go at the line, and that has to be communicated back to your teammate of when you're going to go. And Corey just didn't feel like that. His teammates sped up when they started to go into the restart zone.
Well, and I even think to take it one step further there, felt like he slowed down, right? And the rule is you are supposed to maintain your speed. There's a specific speed they want you to maintain. And look at this list of trucks that were involved in this wreck. Just a huge pile up, Jamie, and a lot of very good trucks.
The trucks we've been talking about all day.
Yeah, 10 of them that we've talked about all day. There's the 17 of Giro. They'll come in and make some repairs.
Gio Ruggiero's pitting.
More interesting than this list that were involved in the wreck is our current top 10. As we get ready to
It's Corey Heim, Jake Garcia, Tanner Gray, Gio Ruggiero, Daniel Hemrick, Chandler Smith, Ross Chastain, Connor Mozak, Jack Wood, and Ty Majeski were all involved in that wreck. So, yeah, big wreck there.
Let's listen to Gio Ruggiero's radio after that restart.
I mean, I was ready to go when I'm going to go because the leader starts in the restart zone, not the second place guy.
And he is a rookie, and to Corey was talking about the kid, he's talking about Gio Ruggiero.
Well, and I think listening to that radio, and Michael, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe Gio felt like he was maintaining his speed, and he was waiting to have the option to restart when he felt like it was best for him to restart, which is the rule. That's what you are allowed to do as the leader of the race. So certainly Gio felt like maybe he was getting that push from behind a lot sooner than expected and where he wanted it.
But Regan, you know this, these guys are going to go. We talk about the intensity ratchets up and just trying to think you want that push, so you need to try to get going so you can get that push. And I'm sure those two have a difference of opinion. I hear what you're saying, but I think waiting late in the restart zone, late in a race, is a very dangerous thing to do.
Well, and especially to your point, when it's a timing thing, right? You're wanting to time it to where your two trucks are hooked up together before the two trucks to the inside of you are hooked up together.
One more lap under caution here as we sort it out.
And we take a look here, the 07 of Corey LaJoie. We showed how many races he was going to be doing later on in the season. Right now, currently shown as the leader here, and thought it would maybe take a few races when we talked about it earlier today, but the way things have played out, Corey in a really nice position to maybe just go ahead and first race of the year in the trucks for him to get one.
First of 9 races scheduled for Corey LaJoie, who's doing double duty. He's a broadcaster over on Prime for the Cup races.
Right behind him is Dawson Sutton, doing a nice job. Had a good practice yesterday, and now he's up here in second place. Look at the damage on Daniel Hemrick's truck.
So this will be our 3rd NASCAR overtime this season. Here's the overtime rules. It's a 2-lap shootout. If the leader takes the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether that's a caution flag or the checkered flag. Caution prior to the white flag causes a restart. So we'll try that as many times as needed. Not really sure after the race we've had today what to expect.
Hemrick there with the 19. Obviously, a fair amount of damage to that truck, and we know what has happened to a number of these tires today. That left front looking very, very close to me, so I'll have to keep an eye on him on this restart as well. They've opted to stay out. They're in 3rd place right now and have made the decision that we're going to ride this thing out and see what we get. So we'll keep an eye on him as man, it's one restart after another. It's going to continue to get crazier.
Yeah. Frankie Muniz up in the 5th spot here. This is the closest he's tasted of a victory, a chance at one at least. He's got to love where he's sitting.
Great day for him.
As we choose it up here, 5 of those 6 guys you see in the first position have never won a truck race.
It's about to get good. We saw Daniel Hemrick back in the Truck Series. Since 2016, he's in that 19, and he found victory lane for the first time ever a couple of months ago at Martinsville.
How about those numbers?
Oh my gosh.
Take a look, guys, at the inside of the 3rd row. And that's Carson Hocevar with a perfectly clean truck. The way the choose just worked out, he was able to move up a couple additional positions. And no damage to the truck. Looking pretty good right now.
I don't want to sound crazy, but would you almost make him the favorite of this little 2-lap shootout coming from the inside of row 3?
Well, the one thing I like for Carson is he spent the most time up front today of the trucks that we're talking about right now on restarts. So he understands the moves he can and can't make. His teammate today, Corey LaJoie, in the 07 truck, has the optimum position, right? You want the outside lane going into turn 1. So as you look at all these trucks here, I'd say those 2 are the 2 that are in the best scenario right now.
Jamie, got to give it the end down the stretch they go. This is turning into quite the dramatic finish.
Gonna be 2 laps to go in overtime.
In the 07, and another rookie, Dawson Sutton, on the inside. How about the fans today at Michigan?
A great crowd.
All right, here we go.
Great day. The infield's packed. We're getting ready to side this thing.
3 flags in the air, 2 laps to go at Michigan, in Brooklyn, Michigan, in overtime.
They do it. Corey LaJoie hangs on to the lead.
Carson to not get going either, so that's a worst case scenario for Carson based on that position.
But he's got her wound up now, but man, he's...
Oh, in the wall. Lawless Allen gets in the wall hard. Still green. Oh, and the 18 goes in the wall.
Left front goes down for Hemrick. He hits the outside.
Caution.
Caution is out.
We're going to do it again.
And I was just getting ready to say, it appears that tire for Hemrick was going to hold up. It made it through 1 and 2, but as they got up,
That was about a 36-second green flag run.
It looked like the clearance was going to be very tough, and we saw it in real time. There's nothing the driver could do.
So a second overtime.
He'll take that thing back to the garage area.
Guys, where did Ben Rhodes come from?
Kentucky.
Like you, Michael. He had his troubles in practice, and he's just kind of been there plugging away.
You know, that's the sign of a championship team and great leadership from crew chief Rich Lucius. They just stayed in the game. We saw a lot of issues, but they had to repair a truck. I think the same thing must have happened to Lawless too. Maybe it looked like a right front flat because that thing just shot into the outside wall.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that there wasn't maybe a little contact that caused him to end up having that issue, Michael. But as you guys are talking about Ben Rhodes, I mean, that truck was torn apart as of last night, right? The right side of it was completely being repaired, and man, it's such a good feeling for a team. The guys in ThorSport, right, to see that truck up there and see him doing what he's doing now at the end of this race. And no, we haven't talked about him a lot today, but guess what? That's why Ben Rhodes is a champion, as we've said of this series in the past, is he finds a way when maybe things aren't going his way to get towards the front and give himself a chance.
This is just what Carson Hocevar needed after that horrible restart. Took him, looked seemingly out of play, but now he can get back in the game, and I wouldn't count out that 7. We talked about Lawless Allen going into that outside wall just off of turn 2. Did he try to... I think the...
Right there, you see the 9 of Grant Enfinger come down just a little bit, and as he came down to clear off, it just turned Lawless as he tried to correct it, turn him head first with the right front to the wall.
So quick, flat out, trying to get up to speed, and he just had an issue there.
Here's what happened to Daniel Hemrick.
There you see the tire just blowing apart. A lot of damage on that left front. You called it, Regan, that be surprised if he made it, and he didn't.
And unfortunate, because Daniel had done a nice job all day after having troubles in practice yesterday with a flat tire, actually, that caused them to only get 4 or 5 laps of practice. He had mentioned earlier in the day that he felt like he had a very good truck still, and they had put themselves in position a couple different times on a few of these restarts. We've seen him creep into the top 5, and you know, that's a tough position to be in. Where do you pit or not pit at the very end of the race?
Well, coming up soon, horse racing's greatest test returns as Sovereignty and Journalism face off in the 157th Belmont Stakes. It's the 2 biggest names of the season in one race to settle it all. It'll be right here on Fox coming up at 4 Eastern. If you're looking for the Belmont Stakes Festival, that's currently over on FS1. Horsepower of a different kind coming up after our Craftsman Truck Series race concludes. Who is going to win this, guys? Regan?
I think every time we think we know who's going to, or we want to make a prediction, something crazy happens, Jamie. I still like the position that Corey LaJoie's in right now, but keep in mind, Grant Enfinger has come from a ways back. They pitted a few laps back without having enough fuel. He spent some time at the front, so when I talk about guys that maybe have that experience of running in the front today and understanding exactly what move they can make and how they can time it out, I would put him in that groupings after they were able to get to the front by staying out and taking a chance on fuel that didn't work out. It didn't look like it was going to work out, but now it looks like it might work out for Grant.
Well, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take the long shot. I'm going to go with Hosfar again. He's going to have better trucks in front of him. I talked about some of the inexperience that was up near the front he had to deal with. He's going to have better trucks in front of him. There he is in that 7. Perfectly aerodynamic truck still, no damage. I think he can get it done. I know that sounds crazy, but let's see how close he can get if not.
And really just the turn of events over the past 15 laps of this race, right? And you know, the amount of moments that we've seen, saves that we've seen, scenarios where guys have gotten, you know, either had trouble on the restarts or...
It's going to be a crazy finish.
It has completely shifted what we're watching on track right now, and you know, what we thought we were going to be talking about right now is a whole different cast and crew, and that means opportunity, right? We've looked at the points a couple different times today, and maybe somebody like a Dawson Sutton, if he can find his way up to the leader spot somehow, that may be his only way to make the playoffs right now based on where he is in points. So guys will be willing to take some big chances. Ben Rhodes would also fall in that category right now.
Yeah, it's Corey LaJoie, the leader.
Another lap before we choose. The choose will have a whole lot to do with Carson Hocevar's opportunity for success, who goes where, how he picks the different lane. They continue to work on the 11 truck of Corey Heim. A lot of problems with that right front.
Ross Chastain. Gosh, so many good trucks out. There's Daniel Hemrick taking that ride to the infield care center after losing the left front. Leaderboard, Regan, coming into this race.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was just mentioning right there, Jamie, or a few moments ago, and you see Ben Rhodes right now, right, in the 99 truck, currently in the 5th position. Got a pretty good sized gap, 51 points to get to the cut line. So Ben knows the races are winding down, and his opportunities to be able to maybe get himself into the playoffs this year. That's a 2-time champion of this series that wants to race for another championship and make the playoffs. Then you got Dawson Sutton in 4th place right now. You don't even see him on this list that we are looking at the moment. That's how important this race can be for him, and being inside that top 5, and as crazy as these endings are getting, or this race has gotten at the ending, I just got to believe that those 2 guys in particular are going to be doing everything they can right here.
The win you're in format rewards that for sure. Raja Caruth saw it last week as we're coming to the choose.
Let's fix it up, see who goes where. I think Corey LaJoie will go to the top. There you see the choose box. There goes.
No, Jaden, it's not Cody Rhodes.
I think he was really happy when he saw.
I actually like Cody Rhodes.
Moved him up a row.
I don't like Ben Rhodes.
I like what we see right there for Corey LaJoie, right? You've got Grant Enfinger right behind you in the 9 truck. We know that that's a veteran. We know that he can give some really good shoves and pushes, and maybe get themselves out front to where they can decide that amongst the two of them.
I'm worried about Jake Garcia, Jamie.
Yes, let's listen to what they're talking about.
I've done all I can do. I feel like we'll be idiots if we run out, but we gotta stay out. Use this thing out. We don't need this motor or this truck.
Well, that's why I'm concerned. He has 6 more laps on his gas tank than anybody else in this field right now. That could mean a sputter on this restart, and we know how tragic that could be for not only Jake, but for the rest of the field who's going to be pushing so hard.
Corey LaJoie in the 07. Just his 6th career Truck Series start. He's been a Cup racer for many years. Never won at this level.
All right, going back green. Could be 2 laps to go in overtime.
Win and you're in. There's so much on the line here. This will be our 2nd attempt at a NASCAR overtime.
I just hope that 13 doesn't sputter.
Green flag. And fuel is an issue.
Carson Hocevar jumps to the bottom.
Corey LaJoie in the lead. Here comes Grant Enfinger. Here comes Enfinger on the inside.
Corey LaJoie, and he clears them just like that. Here comes Ben Rhodes in the 99.
That was a perfect move by Grant to get that cleared. It's chaos.
Oh, trouble!
Sideways, Matt Mills into the wall, and he takes a couple.
And that'll be a caution. Damn.
15, Tanner Gray.
Oh, wow, we got a caution.
So that was about a 31-second green flag
The
run.
leader.
Great start by Grant.
This race is officially dummy stoopy.
Here in that coach truck.
It is officially dummy stupid. Yeah, I mean, like, I think if you asked, like, the executives if it's dummy stoopy, they would... They probably would confirm that it's dummy stoopy. They might say it's dummy or stoopy, but I think that would just be them, like, trying to, like, downplay it. Like, ultimately, it is both dummy and stoopy.
Once somebody gets sideways that far up in front, you go into survival mode.
Matt Mills is leaking oil. That might end up being a red flag.
Just try to do whatever you can to get around it, and unfortunately, they kept hitting further down the track.
I think Tanner Gray may be okay. It was Tony Breidinger, his teammate, with that damage. We saw her in the coach truck make her way down pit road. Being told that Carson Hocevar
Ross is in 24th.
Yeah, it's very clear that you've got to stay in line, completely in line, until you cross the start-finish line. And I was worried about that with the aggressiveness of Carson and the need to get down to the bottom.
If y'all are looking for the fucking Belmont Stakes, nobody who's watching my stream is looking for that. But if you are, it's on FS1, you fucking idiot.
You just have to stay
Like, if you're actually watching horse racing, you're a fucking idiot.
right behind the 25.
It's animal abuse.
Oh. To me, that's so close. I
Horse racing is straight up animal abuse.
I get it. They wanted to stay in line until after the start-finish line. He did not do that. And there you have it.
And that was very close. We saw it last week in Nashville that was a little bit more obvious than that one. And but certainly, you know, it's hard to argue with the fact that he had started to make a move down to the bottom there outside of the truck that was in front of him. And I'm sure Carson is not pleased right now.
You want to know something, Regan? I'm not going to pick him to win anymore. I'm done with that.
You're finally giving up on that ghost, Michael.
That dog won't hunt no more. See what?
I don't know, man. He's in 6th.
4 wide.
And you see Matt
Or
Mills
8th.
inside of the 88 truck there, the bright yellow
No, he
truck
isn't 6th.
of Matt Crafton, so they are 4 wide right there.
It just squeezed. That's what happened.
Yeah, Andres Perez trying to get the position, and appears that Matt maybe thought he was clear and potentially started to move up.
Did you see Ty Majeski?
Yeah, he squeezed through there, did he?
Oh my goodness. Clean truck after all that.
This is the squeeze play we talked about.
Yeah, and It wasn't a lot. It was a subtle move by Matt Mills as he, tried to get back up in there. And part of what happens there, and
Look at Majeski. See you guys.
very nice move by Majeski, but part of what happens there is that if you don't get back up, you're going to lose 3 or 4 spots by the trucks on the outside. And we've talked about it all day long that those, and Michael, you've said it numerous times that it was going to become a game of less than inches as we get down to the end of the race, and the spotters were going to call it tighter. The drivers were going to ask for more out of their mirrors, and that's exactly what happens when we see a scenario like that.
Carson Hocevar, one of them.
Yeah.
Jake Garcia.
Hocevar's pitting.
Running out of gas.
Carson will have to start in the back. Jake is now going to make it. I don't understand how he made it as far as he did. He runs something.
And interesting on Jake Garcia right there, you see that because of the fact that they had run as long as they did, they've actually got 4 sticker tires left. And I know it's probably not the best thing in the world right now to have to be in the back with those 4 sticker tires, but at least it is 4 sticker tires. Whereas Carson Hocevar, no tires for that, no tires to put on that truck. They've used all their sets up that they were allowed today.
Just limping around under caution, trying to get the track cleaned up. These are the guys that were in Tony Breidinger, Tanner Gray, Matt Hill, Jack Wood, all involved in that mess off turn 2.
So this will be our 3rd attempt at NASCAR overtime. Again, it's unlimited as long as they don't take the white flag. Once they take the white flag, the next flag will end the race.
Well, we talked early in the race, Regan, as the laps wind down, these truckers just get more and more aggressive, start pushing harder and harder. And Grant Enfinger with a perfect executed restart here, gets a great start, and then just uses his momentum to swing to the bottom.
And that Michael, is such a well-timed move, because if he does that just a little bit later, a little bit sooner, he may not have the opportunity to clear the 07 of Corey LaJoie off of turn 2 right there, and that allows him to actually dictate on the choose as we come to the choose line, or choose cone, excuse me, here in just a moment.
Oh, 3 trucks go up high. That's a gift for Stuart Friesen.
Grant Enfinger, Corey LaJoie, and Ben Rhodes on the outside. We got Matt Crafton. Tip of the hat to him, that 88 team.
Yeah, great day for Matt.
Really,
and Luke Fenhouse too.
Yeah, a gift for both Friesen and Fenhouse. When you look at how far up those guys were able to pull up, and I'm a little perplexed as to why nobody, I understand the bottom has not been working out, but if you can do it just right, you can slide yourself up. You give yourself an opportunity. Maybe the guy on the outside, has trouble on a restart. We've seen that, and at least you're on the front row with that opportunity to come out.
Maybe like Ben thought that Corey LaJoie was going to go low, and so he went high, but then at the last second, Corey went high, and it cost him. What a fast truck we saw Grant Enfinger have earlier. Remember, Regan, when he got out front, he was able just to yard them. He was able to stretch the lead 4 or 5 truck lengths. Stuart Friesen, on the other hand, has not been that fast all day.
And Corey LaJoie, we've not really seen him up to the front to know exactly what he's going to be capable of. I think that's going to be the wild card here as we watch things, and we've predicted a couple times that Corey was one of our favorites, but that was when Carson was our favorite, and there's just so much happening at the end of this race that it's going to be a lot of fun here for this last 2 laps to see who can make the right moves and who can work with their spotter the best.
I'm beginning to get a little bit concerned about Corey LaJoie's gas gauge. He pitted on
Comeback green.
lap 86. He's got to be running low.
All right, here we go. Pace truck is off. Once again, Grant Enfinger, Corey LaJoie.
Green flag. 2 laps to go at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan. Oh.
No help for either one of the leaders on the front row.
Stuart Friesen in the lead.
Start as Matt Crafton is his first to try to peek out 3 wide. I think that
Grant Enfinger on the outside to the lead.
Stuart Friesen, is that what's going to happen? Looks like Luke Fenhouse is going to have a big run in the 66.
Here comes Lane Riggs.
Oh, shit.
Just come into the picture, the 34 truck behind Matt Crafton in the 88.
Stuart Friesen now. to the lead. Coming to the white flag. Who is going to win it? They have taken the white flag. 1 lap to go. Stuart Friesen and Grant Enfinger. Luke Fenhaus in third. Who is it going to be? Enfinger getting a draft down the backstretch. Trying to do something. They're looking on the inside. Enfinger trying to go on the inside now. Not going to be enough. Stuart Friesen is going to win the truck race at Michigan. He is the winner. Stuart Friesen wins. Wow.
We talked about the volatility of the cutoff.
He hasn't won in a long time.
What a job by him and his team to put himself in position. And we got to look at that shoes cone at the end of the race and really think back to that. They gave him that inside lane. He made the most of it.
He hasn't won since Texas in 2022. May 20th, 2022.
That was so fun to watch.
The 41-year-old Stuart Friesen breaks a 72-race winless streak. What a shot in the arm for this team.
That was cool.
Nice in the
Just
playoffs.
didn't see him having the speed to pull that off, and man.
Well, Stuart did a nice job of getting through the gears, right, and staying even with Grant Enfinger as they came to.
So it was an almost minute and a half green flag run to end the race.
It was side drafting back and forth down the back straightaway after that. Once he stayed even with them when they got to the back straightaway, that was ultimately the difference.
Gonna burn it down. There's Jake with great shots.
Cameraman Jake on the move. Get right in there and get you some action.
Stuart Friesen hasn't been to victory lane since Texas of 22. And all the time, effort, he rebuilt this team, Michael and Regan. Brought in new people, a new crew chief. Rebuilt it from the ground up basically last season. And they just had so much hardship this year. So he goes out and he races dirt just to make himself feel better.
Well, and I think it was after Rockingham or maybe Texas early in the season. He said, I'm done. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm not doing my job. And that just tells you how passionate, how much you care about what you get to do, what the opportunity to race the truck means. And then to be able to rebound from wondering if you ought to quit to standing in victory lane in Michigan.
How about that? Niagara on the Lake, Canada is where he is from. A lot of Canadians come out to this race. What a moment. The fans turned out. They got a show. It took us a while to get there here in the closing laps, but we did it.
Oh, Canada.
Take that helmet off, run up the track, and pick up that checkered flag. I bet he's in shock right now. What just transpired?
I am. I'm sure he's got to be a little bit surprised that he was able to.
He's climbing the fence.
He's going to climb the fence.
Whatever shock he's in, he's still got
Nope,
a
only a
little
little
bit
bit.
to get up that fence. And
oh no!
Hold on, Stuart.
That was a long race, much longer than anticipated. Got a 3-hour race. And his team there
A little under 3
celebrate
hours.
the win. Caitlin
About like
Vinci.
250.
Well, you could hear the elation on the radio from Stuart Friesen. You see the joy from the team as well, congratulating Stuart on a very hard-fought win, a crazy closing laps in this race. Stuart, we talked earlier today about how this season has been a bit of a struggle. How rewarding is this one for you?
I don't even know what to say. Thank you to Chris Halmar, Mohawk Northeast, TRD, all the great product sponsors, all these badass race fans. I know there's a lot of Canadians, there's a lot of Americans. Everybody's having a good time together, and that's what it's all about, baby, yeah!
There you have it, Stuart Friesen. He is the big winner here in Michigan.
Well, Grant Enfinger Your team gambles, it nearly pays off. You come runner-up. Is there anything you could have done different at the end?
I don't know. First of all, hats off to Jeff and Tim Fedewa all day. They kept us in the game. We weren't as good as we thought we were in practice, but man, Jeff kept slinging stuff at it. He got gutsy with both of those calls, the call to stay out and then the call to pit late. Timmy did a great job getting us out of the mess. You know, circumstances, I think we had a good short run champion power equipment Chevy. Just got fortunate to be put in that position. Felt like we executed that first, or I guess the second to last restart pretty well. And man, I needed a little push from my buddy Corey there on the back straightaway. Maybe I could have side drafted harder to Stewart going into 3, so he wouldn't clear me. But I felt like if I did that, they'd be coming with a big run on top. So I don't know. I have to look back with it. Feel like all in all, we executed to the best of our ability and just wasn't meant to be. A little bittersweet, but overall, great execution by our guys.
Runner-up finish for Grant Enfinger. Jimmy?
Exciting day, no doubt. Stuart Friesen gets inside the truck, and he'll make the drive over to victory lane. There's a lot to digest here. Grant Enfinger, just heard from him. Luke Fenhouse. That's got to feel good.
Luke starts on the pole today and gets a top 5 finish. Very nicely done by Luke.
Great run by Matt Crafton as well. Got that top 10 finish. Andres Perez as well.
Look at Frankie Muniz. Brings it home, 14th great finish for him. It's been one of those
good finish for him.
Ty Majeski avoided chaos and disaster a couple of times to finish in the top 15.
Corey Hines so good all day long. I know another disappointing end result for him, unfortunately.
All those trucks from there on down have fenders for off of them.
Ross finished 26th, right where he started.
Well, we started out going 70 laps without an incident on track, and then it was caution after caution.
Yeah, my win pick finished
momentum,
11th.
And it kind of ended that way, but what a finish. I mean, you guys set it up perfectly. That final restart and the choose cone was everything.
Well, I just love how Stuart Friesen executed. You know, we know what
Alrighty, y'all.
he's been in, but
I'm going to end this shit right here. It was fun times today. I will be live for the Red Sox tonight. I'll be live at 7:25, unless there's rain, which I know there is rain in New York right now. So, I mean, that game could be delayed, but we'll see. 7:35 is the first pitch, so I'll be live at 7:25, maybe 7:20 for that.
Well, for Michael Waltrip, Regan Smith, Caitlin Mincy, Josh Sims, and our entire Fox Sports team, I'm Jamie Little. We'll see you from Pocono on Friday, June 20th. Coming up next, it's Belmont Stakes Festival Saturday. Congratulations, Stuart Friesen. You are a winner at Michigan.
Yeah, it looks like the rain will end around 5, so yeah, it doesn't look like that game will be delayed at all. So yeah, I think I'll be live at like 7:20, 7:25 for that.
It's a campground.
Yeah.
Grandstands in the heart of every fan. This August, a full-throttle festival comes to upstate New York. Camp under the stars, then witness the brightest stars of NASCAR.
Congrats to Stuart Friesen, and yeah, Caden Honeycutt had the fastest lap. Yeah, all right. I want to thank you guys for watching, and peace out.